You know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record. Off the record. Yeah, we keep it real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on. We talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, minion the God, let's go. Foxy 2 Roxy 3, she go hard.
I swear on everything, that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard, Lizzie with the facts, she never miss. Nah. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah. Come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. Nah. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop a seat, it'll never be the same. Never. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Minion with a Pinion. And this is the Off the Record show, and I have my illustrious co-host. I said what I said. What's going on? I said what I said.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Everything's good.
All right. Well, we got a crazy show for you today. And the fact that this is our administration is just bonkers, but we're going to talk about it today. And hey to everybody in the chat that's speaking. I guess before we get into all the drama, we can go ahead and give our little shout outs.
Sounds good to me, men. We have Lady T-Bug in the house. Welcome. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
All right. What's up, Lady T-Bug? Let me get my
Yeah, hand clap. And y'all, if y'all haven't subscribed to Lady T-Bug's channel, go ahead and subscribe to her channel. She do crime and mystery on her channel, so she's a content creator. Right.
We love crime and mystery.
Right. And we have Who Dat in the house. Thank you for being here. Welcome in, Who Dat.
What's going on, Who Dat?
And we have Bon the Madame in the house. Welcome.
What's up, Bon, the Madam, the Madame?
The Madame. And the Madame is a content creator too, so y'all go subscribe to her channel also. And she just do everyday living type of, she has an everyday living type channel. Or she just talk about, basically anything that's going on.
Yes. All right. Well, y'all, if you haven't done so already as well, please at least answer the chat. You ain't got to speak to us, but we want to hear what your opinion is. Do you guys feel like it's time for Trump to be in somebody's hospital or in some padded room? What's going on with Trump? Do you guys feel like he's competent or no? What do you guys think? So 1 for yes, 2 for no. And let's see what you guys have to say. But today, guys, we have a lot to talk about. We've been gone for a whole week. So a lot has happened. Yeah, prison is
Mhm.
also a good option as well. I mean, maybe I should have added that.
Lynn say put me in prison, baby. And welcome
That's a
in,
good
Lynn.
poll as well.
Yeah,
What's
that's a
good?
good poll. So y'all
Uh,
make sure y'all participate in our poll. We're gonna have several polls throughout the show, and we would love if y'all would just go ahead and participate it and put it in the chat. Either one or two of which one you think should happen to Trump. Everybody already should know my answer is a big fat two. A
right.
N plus a O, and what part do you
He
not
was never
understand?
competent to run the damn country in the first place. Is probably what a lot of people would say, but
Exactly. Shouldn't even been in that seat, child.
but you guys let us know what you think. We're going to start the show off with some more drama that doesn't actually include Trump. And how did that happen? Well, sexual assault. That's how that happened.
Wow.
Because, for some reason, people in politics love to, use that against their
They
staff.
like to exude their powers, don't they?
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
superpower. They think
yeah.
they have superpowers when they get in office. They can just do any and everything. And
and
this is disgusting.
hmm
And at first, and let's just talk about it a little bit. We have two congressmen, Tony Gonzalez from Texas and Eric Swadwell from California, that's being accused of essay abuse, right? And so Tony, both, of course, in the beginning, both of them denied it, as most people do, until you have the footage. And like Comey say, "Oh Lordy, there must be tapes,"
mm,
because both of them vehemently, uh, they both just totally, this is not true. This is not true. They had big denials, right? And now all of a sudden, how about both of them are ready to leave Congress now? And I feel like they're being pushed out. I know Tony Gonzalez is being pushed out because he was saying he was going to quit in the midterms. Swartwell, I guess he ran about 3 or 4 days of denial, and then he folded quick as a Democrat would.
yeah, yeah. They're
Democrats
not
fold.
equipped for
Yeah,
the fight.
no,
Yeah.
no, no, they can't fight at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing about the Democrats that I really can't stand.
Uh huh.
And I feel like the Democrats were actually harsher on Swalwell than they were on this Texas politician. I feel like they tried to play this card of being like morally above, the Republicans. But to me, it kind of seems like you guys are willing to throw your own people under the bus,
Mm-hmm.
to
Because
try
it
to
haven't been a trial or anything, It's
no
all it's been is
trial.
allegations. And then in this good old United States of America, I thought you was innocent until proven guilty in the court of law.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They could have supported that man a little more. I mean,
But what was they gonna do? Uphold the lie for him?
well, they could have said, well, we just have to wait till the facts come out.
Okay,
These
okay.
allegations have not been litigated in
They have
court.
they haven't been substantiated yet.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So let's wait till but if we're going to bring him into the focus, what they should have did was redirect the focus and say, but if it's going to be a big deal for
Yeah.
Swalwell and we haven't even had a trial yet, all we
Mm-hmm.
have are allegations, then we damn sure need to make sure that the Epstein files, every last one of them, are released, unredacted. I mean, except for the victims, keep the victims' names redacted,
Mm-hmm.
release all the files, and prosecute all the people who were involved with these sexual assault allegations, including the people who were victimized. You know what I'm saying? Like the abusive
I
abuse victims.
concur. I concur. Also, I wanted them, instead of Swalwell just folding and quitting, Gonzalez said he's gonna resign. So when are you gonna resign? So that's not a timeline, sir. So
He said he retiring.
are you resigning tomorrow? Are you waiting until the midterms? Because if that's the case, Swalwell can wait till the midterms.
Yep.
But the Democrats want to be so righteous and politically correct They got to hurry up and scoop you out the way because you know you may mess up their chances of being, the noble one,
Right.
And so I
Look,
just
they
think
say
they
we
ought to
trying
fight
to
a
do a
little
clean
harder.
sweep. So
Uh,
we try to do a clean sweep.
yeah,
So anybody with any type of, dirt on your name, you got to get out.
yeah.
But
Your
I think
fingernails
that
dirty, you gotta go.
but I think that that is the reason why Trump got in office, because people like people who have a little bit of dirt and a
Yeah.
little corruption for some reason. I don't know why people like that,
hmm
but people
People,
gravitate.
people like mess.
Yeah.
Sometimes people like mess. Let's just keep it real. That's what social media is all about. It's all about the mess. And so
All
it
about the
seems
mess.
like the messier you are, the more likely that you're going to be in this administration because that's all he has is nothing but a bunch of mess up in his administration.
I mean, you first off, I'll say we'll talk about that later. But you want to know what? Let's get into the news article of it all,
Okay.
because the news did release, a segment discussing these two resignations. So let's look into it and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Congressman Tony Gonzalez of Texas has just confirmed he plans to retire from Congress. I want to go straight back to CNN's Manu Raju on Capitol Hill. Manu?
Yeah, this has been a scandal that has engulfed this congressman for several weeks in the aftermath of revelations that he had an extramarital affair with his aide. That aide later died by suicide. Initially, Tony Gonzalez had denied having any sort of extramarital affair, but as the allegations were mounting, he admitted to that. Then he decided not to run for re-election, and he indicated repeatedly that he would not resign his seat from the House. But moments after the decision by Eric Swalwell, caught up in a separate sexual misconduct scandal, Gonzalez himself making the decision to resign following Eric Swalwell's decision to resign. Gonzalez himself saying he will step down from Congress, saying on X, there's a season for everything and God has a plan for us all. When Congress returns tomorrow, I will file my retirement from office. It has been my privilege to serve the great people of Texas. Now, the decision by both Gonzalez and Swalwell has a couple of key ramifications, one of which is that they both can avoid a House ethics probe. Both men were facing an investigation, but now that members are no longer serving in the House, that committee, the Ethics Committee, no longer has jurisdiction over those members, and expect that those investigations essentially to go away. Also, both men were facing expulsion votes in the United States House. That potentially could have succeeded. It would have required 2/3 majority in the United States House to go ahead, and both of those members clearly looking to avoid that possibility here. But Gonzalez had decided to stay on as a result of perhaps the Republican leadership not calling on him to step aside, because Anderson, as you know, this is the narrowest of majorities in the United States House. Had Eric Swalwell still been a member of Congress and Gonzalez had resigned, Johnson would have zero margin for error. He could not afford a single defection in the United States House. But now that Eric Swalwell has resigned and Gonzalez plans to do the same, that means that Johnson can still afford to lose one Republican vote on a party line vote, which shows you how every seat is so critical in the narrowly divided Republican House.
Manu Raju, thanks very much. Were you surprised by this?
Honestly, with great power comes great responsibility, right? And so if you are in a position of power and you utilize that power in a way that sexual assault becomes a thing, it's just not appropriate. And, a serious investigation needs to take place in something like this. It needs to be thoroughly investigated, and I think that's what's going to exactly happen.
Sure, Michael. Tony Gonzalez, this has been going on for a while. It seems like Swalwell announcing is what made it, I don't know if it's made it possible for him, sort of from a political standpoint.
And that's what I really feel like. The only reason why he's resigning is because Swalwell resigned. When your allegation came out, you should have resigned at that point. Why would you wait until this? Because the optics don't look very good to me.
It's all political, and you heard what Anderson Cooper said, and Minaj, whatever his name is, I can't say his name. But he wasn't going anywhere until they caught Swalwell up, and the Democrats forced Swalwell out. And so Johnson probably told him, okay, well, it's time for you to go since, we're going to lose one. They're going to lose one. I still have one, to play with. So, your time is
Gotta
up.
go.
Yeah, because he really wasn't planning on leaving until the midterms. That's what he said initially.
Well,
yeah.
Standpoint, because it wouldn't necessarily change the balance of power. He seemed to invoke God in his statement, but why now?
Yeah, the irony of invoking God after the woman that he was alleged to have had an inappropriate relationship with killed herself, a lady who was married, family, friends who cared deeply about her. I mean, this is pretty despicable. What's unfortunate about all of this to me, though, Anderson, let's just put the politics to the side. There's been over $17 million, or roughly $17 million, in payouts from members of Congress on both sides to keep quiet sexual assault. I believe Nancy Mace out of South Carolina had a bill, I think, a month ago that she attempted to get passed in Congress to reveal who are these members who have paid out after being alleged to have had inappropriate relations with their staff members. And Congress voted against disclosing who those members are and were, if some of them are now out of Congress. Just imagine that. Taxpayer dollars paying to cover up this type of atrocious behavior by the representatives that we elect to serve our interest. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It falls below despicable. And I'm saying this as a conservative. I don't look at this as a right or a left thing. I have a 1-year-old daughter now. And to me, when I think about powerful men doing things against women who are subordinate to them, who can't really defend themselves, who may be afraid to speak up because they don't want to lose their jobs, and then our elected officials on both sides had an opportunity to say, you know what, we're not going to stand for this anymore. We're going to disclose the names. We're no longer going to pay out to protect powerful people. And they decided to bury it. Just imagine that, Anderson. In what universe would a moral society say that that is acceptable, that is okay?
It's bizarre to me, Chris. I mean, the behavior, obviously, if the allegations are true against Representative Swalwell, there are legal ramifications. For Congressman, for the Republican congressman, the arrogance that he thought, if the text messages that he was sending, the pressure he was allegedly putting on the woman who ended up dying by suicide, and perhaps other.
And the crazy thing is that this story has been out for a very long time. Shermichael says his daughter is 1 now. Your daughter was even younger when the story came out. So why wasn't it an appropriate time to address it at that time with the same energy that you're using right now to talk about, it's despicable and all this? Well,
he's a Republican though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm surprised to hear him even saying this, but it's real rich from you coming from you now. What do you got to say about the Epstein files?
That part. They don't have anything to say. It's always tit for tat. It's always, make the libs look bad. It's buried the Democrats. And so now it's an equal playing field. So I guess he feel comfortable enough with coming out and playing like he's, trying to speak out about it or what have you. But the story has been out for 2 or 3 months. And like you said, you're just now speaking on it or against it.
Right.
Move the poll over some.
Others, or at least another, it's shocking that he thought that was acceptable. I mean, in this day and age, asking somebody you are working with repeatedly for naked photographs and pressuring them to have sexual relations with you, it's what planet is that person living on?
In any place, in any work environment, I mean, I am actually an equal opportunity representative in the military, in the Army with my unit. And we discuss situations like this all the time. And doing something like this to people that are subordinate to you or just even that work with you in a work environment just makes it so uncomfortable. And it's totally not accepted. It's definitely not accepted in the military. We fight it through and through. It's not accepted in any workplace at all. And especially a member of Congress who has such power and ruling over things that occur in this country. To have this happen in Congress is just completely unacceptable.
Sure, Michael, do you think GOP leaders should have asked Gonzalez to take the step earlier? I mean, obviously,
Oh, absolutely.
there would have been, balance of power implications, I assume, but he's been hanging on.
Sure, but Anderson, who cares respectfully about balance of power? I'm not saying this to you, but I'm just saying broadly speaking. Who cares when you have a member amongst your ranks who have clearly violated what I presume should be an ethical or moral principle of conservatives, but hell, any decent person. Who cares if you lose a vote? You shouldn't want people like that amongst your ranks. And to me, as a Christian, do I put my political values above my moral and spiritual ones? Of course not.
So what you got to say about Trump dressing up as Jesus, Mr. Christian?
Expectation is that our leaders on both sides should not do the same. And what I'm worried about, Anderson, is a month from now, 2 months from now, we will have moved on. We'll be on to the next story. But what about the young staff women who have to carry this shame, this predatory behavior with them for the rest of their lives that they will never get over? They'll never get their justice. They'll never get their due day in court because we've buried it. We've moved on, and that's something that Congress continues to perpetuate. And to me, I think we have to keep focused on this to make sure that it doesn't continue, because these guys going away doesn't stop this. It merely says, well, we'll pay attention to them. We'll make sure this never happens again. But you're still going to keep paying out? You won't disclose all of the other members who've done similar things? Why not? Why not let us know who all of them were and currently are? Maybe some.
Why don't we know who's in the Epstein files? Like I said, you keep talking all this hot shit about Congress. Well, what about the Epstein class?
Baby, it's the fake outrage for me.
Yeah.
A fake outrage.
Of them may still even be there. And we have no clue because we have two individuals that both parties are somewhat sacrificing. That, to me, again, is unacceptable.
Chris, you're running for Congress as a Democrat. I mean, when you look at Congress, you sure you want to be there? I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay.
Yeah, I get to do all this stuff, and eventually when it gets figured out, nothing's still gonna happen to me. Hell yeah, I want to be there.
Well, he's a Democrat though, so he don't get to do all of that. As soon as a Democrat sniff some problems, you're gone. When that's one thing the Democrats will do. They will throw you out the party if you're found. Even just allegations.
If it
comes out in the public, then the Democrats are going to get rid of you. The Republicans,
now, they may know behind the scene.
Yeah.
They still ain't going to say nothing, but as soon as they get out, you going right under the bus.
What's that senator name? The one that had some gold bars in his in his suit jacket in the closet, and the FBI came and found him. And so he had been in Congress for a long time, and they got rid of him.
Well, let's finish this video out because the next part is going to be where I really am questioning what Shermichael's views are on this type of behavior. But
so you're not believing the outrage Shermichael has going on here?
No, the fake outrage ain't convincing me. I'm not sold.
Well,
you're been a pilot. You're doing a lot of stuff. Is this? What is it that makes you want to?
I want to make a change, and this is one of those changes that we definitely need to make. We need to hold people accountable. We need to make sure that Congress is transparent. We need to make sure that we have open investigations of things like this. If this is going on, this is something that I will fight for every single day.
Appreciate both of you being with us. Chris Gallant, thanks very much. For Michael Singleton as well.
All right, well, again, like you said, it's the fake outrage. These people don't really care about, what's really going on until, like we just discussed, it comes out in public. But the next thing I really think that they really can't spin the narrative on is our president and his unhinged posts in the middle of the night.
He probably didn't post it though. That's the spin that they try to put on it. It's not him. It's just staffers, that's putting all of this, all the weird stuff out. It's not, it's not the great one that's doing all of that.
Are these DEI hires? What's going on? Like,
Listen,
or maybe they're not. They're white, so they can't be DEI in their in these people's eyes. Every white person is more competent than the lowest white person is more competent than the most capable black person in their eyes. So,
child,
you
I
know.
guess.
So that's why you end up with all these leaks and
Yeah.
all these dumbass the shit that the dumbest black person probably could have picked up on is the stuff that these people in the highest positions
Well, let
can't
me just
seem
say
to
this. This is
figure out.
one of the most uneducated, dumbest administrations I've ever encountered since I've, been able to pay attention to politics. I've never seen such incompetence in my life when it comes to the federal government. And you
And
know
then they
how,
removed all the people who actually have years of
got
of
like experience.
experience
Yeah,
and the experts in those fields. They've removed all those people and
yeah,
replaced them with 20-year-old guys that go by the name of Big Balls and shit.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that
That way they could just railroad them and do whatever they want to do, and nobody's gonna question it because they don't have a clue about how everything's supposed to
right.
go. They
I
have no
was
clue.
going off what they told me.
Yeah, they still got Similac behind their ears, so how would
Right,
they know?
Well, let's look at Trump because see, a lot of people say, Trump is the chosen one and this is all supposed to happen. This is in the Bible. A lot of those white nationalist Christians and stuff like that. That's type of stuff that comes out of their mouth. Well, let's just recall what Trump said out of his own. I don't know what you want to call that mouth of his, because all that comes out of it is shit. So I call it an asshole, a booty hole mouth.
Ooh,
Cause
okay,
all that come out of it is shit, bullshit.
okay.
Okay. But we're gonna listen to him talk about what he thinks his fate is after he leaves this earth.
You had talked a couple weeks ago, you were doing an interview and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly an Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven. But I
wholeheartedly agree. That's the first time I really agree with him. It's like you're right. It's like one of the most honest answers that he could give. Because he definitely know where he's going, and then he's laughing about it. Just playing all in MAGA face. Just laughing all in y'all face.
Yeah. These Christians following behind him. He don't even believe he going to heaven.
Talking about he's the chosen one. How the chosen one ain't gonna make it to heaven? Make that make sense.
It's so stupid. That this is our president, but it is what it is, and we're gonna have to talk about it. Let's look at this news article where they address this.
Look at him though. Look how happy he looks to say
that. Yeah. He's gleefully saying that, I know I'm going to hell when I leave this earth.
Who jokes like that?
Right.
I'm not going to go to heaven. I'm going to hell. He said heaven is heaven right now here on earth.
And look, he look about red. Nah, he don't even look orange in this scene. He look like he so
a streak of red rolls over his body when he said
you're right.
Devil said, let me jump in here right quick. Oh goodness. That's our president though, child.
This is what y'all call the president now. This is low at the bar for presidents. But let's look at this news article.
Extraordinary clash between President Trump and Pope Leo XIV. Following Trump's declaration, he's not a fan of the first American pope and accusations the pontiff is, quote, weak on crime for not supporting the president's war with Iran.
Jesus.
But now Pope Leo is firing back, telling reporters.
So what you expect the Pope to be? Hard on crime? You expect the Pope to say, yeah, get rid of the whole civilization of Iran. Wipe them out. Like, what are you talking about?
No, the bigger question is, what do you think the devil is going to say?
Exactly.
Okay, this is straight from the devil's mouth. What do you think the devil is going to say? Okay, according to him, quote unquote.
This is the most crazy. Like, he is insane. Like, I don't care what y'all say about his cognitive. He's clearly not even cognitively capable of running this country. This man thought that a picture of Abrego Garcia with actual Microsoft Word font numbers on the picture was an actual tattoo on this man's hand. This man's mental capacity is that of a chimpanzee.
On a 6-year-old. He thought Abrego Garcia, the 6-year-old. You talking about the 6-year-old little boy?
No, Abrego Garcia, the one that they had
the one that they
to the
sent
gulag.
Yeah, the one that they shipped. I forgot where they shipped him to Mexico, one of those, South America.
Yeah.
Okay, him. Okay.
So, this president has shown us he falls asleep in the middle of just about every press, like every type of hearing you can find him nodding off sleep.
Dozing done. Dozing off done.
Dozing done. Who tacos?
Yeah.
Who got swollen cankles?
Right. At least they just accused Biden of sleeping. They never caught him sleeping, really.
Right.
I think he was sleeping at one of the funerals, but Biden wasn't sleeping during the cabinet meetings. Biden wasn't sleeping during time when it was time to take care of the business. Now, did he go to bed at 6 or 7 o'clock every day? I'm pretty sure he did. I don't have no evidence.
Okay.
I don't have no evidence that he didn't stay up to 9 o'clock. But at least he could do the job without going to sleep.
And did he want to go to wrestling matches and shit? But you can't even stay up when you doing your job.
Oh, I bet he probably sleep at the wrestling match.
And then he thinks that tweeting out that you don't like the Pope he thinks that his base is so fucking dumb and brain dead that him tweeting out that he doesn't like the Pope was gonna make everybody go against the Pope or something. Like, did you really
some of them are though. Some of them are. Some of them, no matter what he say or do, they're still on his side, even if he, talk shit about the Pope.
It's sad.
And that's crazy. And the Pope is one person that you really don't want to mess with because I think he kind of close to God.
Yeah,
that might strike you down, So
Pope he should have said, look, if you got any issues with anything that I say, take it up with my boss.
Take it up with my father.
Take it up with my father, because
my father boss.
I don't know if you know who you talking to, sir. But I believe you. I'm not going to address it anymore because I ain't scared of you.
Yeah.
You take it up with my boss.
That part.
He is not afraid of this administration.
I do not look at my role as being political or politician. I don't want to get into a debate with him. I don't think that the message of the gospel is meant to be abused in the way that some people are doing. And I will continue to speak out loudly against war, looking to promote peace, promoting dialogue and multilateral relationships among the states to look for just solutions to problems.
Joining us now is Father Sam Sawyer. He is a Jesuit priest ordained in 2014 and the current editor-in-chief of America Media. And he just published a new article called "Trump is Trying to Distract Us from Pope Leo's Calls for Peace. Don't Take the Bait." Father Sawyer, it's great to have you here. Thanks for being here.
Good to be here.
So I just want to get your reaction first to this back and forth we're witnessing between the President of the United States and the Pope, the first American Pope at that.
I mean, I'm flabbergasted because it's unbelievable that any president would speak this way against the Pope. That any president would try to pick a fight with seemingly the entire Catholic Church in a situation like this. So I was stunned by it, but I was also, when I heard Pope Leo's response from the plane this morning, that sounded exactly like the Pope Leo we've come to know over the past, 10 months or so, right? That sounded exactly like him. He's not afraid. He's focused on the values of the gospel, and he's not entering into the back and forth of personal insults and attacks.
And yet some of the president's supporters I'm seeing on social media saying, no, it's the Pope picking a fight with the president. How dare he?
The Pope is speaking out in favor of peace, which he has been doing throughout. When he showed up on the balcony of St. Peter's right after his election last May, in his very first address to the world, he called for a disarmed peace and a disarming peace, and said, this is the message that Jesus offers us, calling us to peace.
Has the Vatican faced this kind of political scrutiny before, or are we wading into uncharted waters?
So certainly the Vatican has been politically on the wrong side of various American administrations. That's not brand new. The Vatican spoke out strongly against the 2003 era Gulf War, for example, and there was some pushback there. This is certainly as blunt and I would say as vulgar as an attack from an American administration on the Vatican has ever been, though.
What does this signal about how this Pope is positioning himself as a global leader, right, when it comes to issues that are front and center in society?
I think he's positioning himself as a voice for the gospel, as a voice for people who are suffering. So one of the things that's striking to me is Pope Leo will usually, even when it's pretty clear that he's critiquing some recent move by the administration, he'll usually avoid naming the United States or naming President Trump individually. Now, part of that's sort of a pattern of Vatican diplomacy to preserve their ability to serve as brokers and be in dialogue with people even after disagreement. But I think another part of that is Pope Leo wants the focus to be on the values of the gospel rather than on conflict between individual leaders. When he does point to looking at individual people, he points us to look at the people who are suffering, the poor, the vulnerable, those who are losing their lives in war, and remind us that it's those people, the people who are really suffering, where Christian attention, where Jesus is focused, and where we're asked to be focused as well.
The president has relied on evangelical Christian support in particular, with some of his supporters even suggesting he's divinely guided, and he's really leaned into that. I mean, case in point, this image that he posted, an AI-generated social media post depicting himself as...
Let's just talk about this for a second, because who in their right mind, as a regular citizen, would depict themselves as Jesus? I think even in your own small social circle, this would be looked at as, what the hell is wrong with you? Have you lost your mind?
Right. And then got some devil angels in the back there.
But but then this
but they
is
tell
what
you the
our
mindset.
president.
Yeah, this is the mindset of him. And who would support this guy right here that's on our screen? Just like we said a while ago, his supporters will support anything that he does, even if there's a possibility of them going to hell with him, because that's what's gonna happen. So they're gonna take a chance on offending God and possibly going to hell
just to support this man.
And it's a shame.
It's black.
It's a sad day in America when you decide that you go just go to hell for
your
somebody
president
else.
over the Lord,
over Jesus.
Over Jesus. That is fucking sane. But let's just keep looking, because it's almost over.
Some kind of American Jesus that many are calling blasphemous. What message is the president sending to people of faith?
I mean, I think the message the president is sending, whether he knows it consciously or not, is that he wants to be the center of attention all the time. And insofar as somebody like Pope Leo is pulling our attention away from the president and putting our attention back on God and back on Jesus and back on the call to peace and the message of the gospel, President Trump seems to have trouble with that, and he seems to be pulling attention back to himself instead of letting attention go to higher values and the deeper call of the gospel.
Quickly, if you will, do you see fractures among people of faith who have supported this president over some of these moves in this fight with the Pope?
I've certainly seen, just in the last 12 hours, some Catholics who have often defended the president feel like this is a bridge too far for him to attack the Pope. I've seen a little bit, as you mentioned, people in his evangelical base for whom that image seems blasphemous and just, again, sort of what are you doing, crazy seeming. So some fractures, but I don't think this will be necessarily the one political bridge too far. But I do think that what it's starting to do is to serve as a reminder to people of faith who are on the side of peace that we need to speak up as well, that it can't just be letting President Trump have the megaphone, saying whatever he wants to about claiming the defense of faith.
Absolutely. What he said is absolutely right, because at the end of the day, it seems like a spiritual war, but not one that none of us were ready and prepared and wanted to be a part of.
Exactly.
But at this point, this man has gone off the rails, and people literally need to step in to reel him in, because he's
out of control. He's totally out of control.
He is going against literally everybody.
Yes.
The Pope? How do you end up in a war with the Pope? Because he has an opinion about what you're doing? That, again, a war that you didn't consult the American people on because you knew that it was unpopular and you knew nobody was going to be supporting this shit.
Well, that's why he didn't ask Congress and he didn't ask America. He just jumped and did what he wanted to do. And now he's trying hard he's trying to get out of it. He kept claiming, the war is over, the war is over. And Iran said, oh, no, sir, it's not over with. It's just beginning. And so he done got himself into some crap that he really can't get himself out of, in my opinion.
No, he's not going to be able to get himself out of. And that he's really feeling desperate and like his back is against the wall, because he's even going against his own people. He's even going against the MAGA, what do you call it? The MAGA
coalition.
Personalities, like the coalition, the influencers, MAGA influencers. He's going against everybody.
All the MAGA that helped put him in the presidency. Yeah, they helped put him in office. Hey, Alice. Hey, SBK. Thank you guys for joining us.
What's going on, guys? All right, so let's finish this out and we can get into the next video.
We have to claim the values of faith and the call for peace ourselves as well.
Father Sam Sawyer, it's good to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that was that. But the next one that we're going to talk about is going to be Adam Mockler, because for some reason Trump thought it was going to be a good idea to have a DoorDasher, like have it filmed of him receiving a DoorDash order from McDonald's. So,
and anybody with any common sense that know anything about going to the White House know that this is a stage BS. You have to be vetted to even get the grounds. They don't even let you look in hardly. Let's not get this close, close proximity to the president. You don't get to, DoorDash to the White House. So I don't know who he thinks is stupid enough to believe that this is actually a real DoorDash delivery, but roll the bean footage.
And the funny part about it, and we'll talk about it when we get to it, so let's just play the video.
Needs to see a doctor ASAP. Just moments ago, he deleted the photo depicting himself as Jesus healing a sick patient. Rather than him healing patients, he needs to be the patient immediately. He needs to get some sort of cognitive assessment from a doctor that is not handpicked by him to just give out false reports from the...
I concur.
That's the first thing. I definitely agree. And secondly, who gets 3 different cognitive tests within 1 year? I mean, like,
Yeah, if it ain't nothing wrong with it, what the hell you getting tested for?
With you.
And why are you spending all our money on this mess? And there ain't nothing wrong with you. And we can't even go to the doctor and get our blood pressure checked. Come on now, Trump. Spending up all the healthcare money.
And you say that you ain't got no issues now. Something ain't right.
Right. You don't get tested unless you have issues, you know. And so why is there a need for a test? You know, that's the part that I don't understand. If you everything is on the up and up, and you such a great person, and you so highly intelligent, why the hell you having to keep getting these dementia tests?
And look, SBK says he said he aced it. I mean, who wouldn't ace it after the damn third, fourth, fifth time? I
can memorize the answers too.
He should ace it every time he take it. It ain't like the questions really change.
Right. Anybody can memorize the answer after test number 3.
The White House balcony. No, a real legitimate medical professional that can diagnose his cognitive decline and his cognitive capability or lack thereof. Because after deleting this post, the one on screen now showing himself as Jesus healing a patient who looks kind of like Jeffrey Epstein with, 3 devils behind. I need to point out that in the original version of this meme, there were angels behind him, but whoever in the White House added these devil wings clearly thinks Trump is the Antichrist and not actually Jesus. But Donald Trump made this post. Then not long after, it appears Donald Trump deleted this post portraying himself as Jesus after facing some backlash from his own supporters. Trump's own supporters were calling him the Antichrist. I mean, let's read some of these comments. Someone says, Mr. President, with all due respect, take this down. You are not Jesus. Even if this wasn't the intention, this is not a good look. What? I do not support this, and I know many others do not either.
Look, his people going against him.
Unbelievable.
Move it at once. You've probably already done too much damage with this meme. Give all honor, glory, and praise to Jesus, but certainly not this. If it's a staffer, fire them and offer an apology. It's not a staffer. He gives the excuse in just one moment. I'll play the clip, but to continue, you are mocking Jesus. I deeply regret voting for you. Many people do. Your ego won't let you see it. Or are you truly a sociopath? 25th Amendment. He's truly a sociopath. Someone said, I voted for this. MAGA is dead. You think you're God, but the truth is you're possessed, sacrilegious and preposterous, idolatry, pride, and false worship. This is absolutely terrible. Someone said, you are sick. I've never regretted a vote more. Literal blasphemy, this person says. Sorry, I'm enjoying this way too much. There's so many good stuff here. By the way, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the Adam Mockler feed. We're going to play clips of Trump trying to justify all of this in just one moment, but these comments are just too good. Someone says, that's going a little too far, at Real Donald Trump. Trump is depicting himself as Jesus, God now? You know who does that in Revelation? The Antichrist. At the very bottom it says, Mr. President, with all due respect, I do not like this post. This was disappointing and unnecessary. Bad form. Trump is mocking God. Jesus only has the light in his hand, not Trump. Trump needs a lot of prayers and he needs Jesus. Trump thinks he's king, but he is not. Jesus is king. Someone said this is not a good look for you, Mr. President. This is incredibly disturbing, Don. You are not okay. I call this idolatry. 25th Amendment time. All right, let's loop back to what Donald Trump said at the White House front lawn just moments ago.
And y'all still going to hell because nobody denounced him. Nobody said Jesus is king. He's the king of kings. Nobody said nothing about what Jesus' position is. Okay, yeah, you condemn him and say that this is the Antichrist. So that person may, make it to heaven. But the rest of them, Mr. President, me ass.
Take this down.
Yeah.
Hurry up and all that.
If a president puts something like that on social media, it ain't no Mr. Nobody. Mr. Antichrist is what you can call him. And Mr. Lucifer Jr. is what you can call him. But yeah, that's not hard enough. The condemnation is not harsh enough for me. And SBK, I said the same thing. He said he took that down, but he wouldn't take the video of the Obamas being monkeys down. Remember, it took him a day or so to take that down, or almost 24 hours for him to take it down. But the heat is on him. The backlash is against him. So, oh yeah, let me hurry up and take that down. My supporters ain't feeling that. I thought they were stupid enough to go ahead and go with this too. So,
some of them still are stupid enough to go with that dumb
oh
ass
well,
shit.
yes, of course.
But he see that. I mean, he's already in a very fragile. His base is fragile right now, so he can't pull too hard of a stunt and pull himself off as Jesus right now.
Yeah, he can't afford to lose too many more people because he don't. When we get through going through this other video of all the people that he denounced this weekend, he don't have too much. He don't have too much space to to drop anybody else.
Yeah.
While he was accepting a DoorDash order. This is one of the more bizarre scenes I've ever seen. The scene starts off with Donald Trump accepting multiple bags of McDonald's on DoorDash, and then while standing next to this McDonald's worker, he begins to take questions about the Pope, about the war in Iran, about the photo that he posted last night, then subsequently deleted, and I've never seen anything this absurd.
And I think you voted for me, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah. I heard you agree.
She said maybe. She didn't even vote for the guy to continue. The person that then probably didn't vote for Trump, I might have said she was a Trump supporter a minute ago. I was wrong. It seems like she didn't vote for Trump. She then has to do a press conference with him as he gets asked, hey, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Mr. President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I had
only the fake news.
Well, why you didn't have no doctor coat on me? There's some stethoscopes around your neck.
Only the fake news would look at that picture and see somebody trying to be Jesus. Only the fake news. Like, sir, that he could have tried.
I guess those were fake comments also,
Yeah, he was a doctor.
On the post. A doctor, yeah.
I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better.
We are never going to let MAGA try to spin this or get away with this one. It's very clearly him as Jesus. What do you mean he thought he was a doctor? He said there was a Red Cross doctor. He's talking about this one in the bottom right corner. He clearly has the light in his palm of healing, just like Jesus Christ does. He has the healing in his palm. I mean, this is a new level of laziness coming from Donald Trump regarding lies. You know who needs to see a doctor? Is Trump himself. Trump is the one who needs to see a doctor absolutely immediately. He's still trying to bullshit his way through the war in Iran as well by saying, oh, the other side is begging for a deal.
Yeah.
One day he'll say they're not taking this seriously enough and they need to start taking the negotiations seriously. The next thing he says, they're begging for a deal and they really want one.
Are another round of talks planned with Iran?
He was trying to heal him or resurrect him.
Vice President Megyn Kelly.
Well, he's done a good job, and Steve and Jared, they've all done a very good job. And I can tell you that we've been called by the other side. They'd like to make a deal very badly, very badly.
Very badly. Very badly. It was over nuclear.
It was over nuclear, very similar. Yeah, very good. I guess you're listening. It's over the fact that they will never have a nuclear weapon.
Why was he so condescending in that answer when he's the one who said 8 months ago they were obliterated? The nuclear regime was obliterated. He then gets asked about the Strait of Hormuz.
All right, so yeah, that's all we had on that clip.
But nothing about that clip said doctor at all, sir. You trying to be Jesus, and like SBK say, you trying to either what he say? He trying to
resurrect
Epstein,
or heal him.
Or heal him, yeah. Trying to resurrect Epstein or heal him. So yeah, that's exactly what he was trying to do. SBK. So since you showing this picture, because he's all about projection, right? So, we really need to see the tomb of Epstein and see if he really in a tomb and if he in the ground or not, because people been saying that they've been seeing him overseas. So kind of make me feel like it's a hidden message in that.
Look, it's a lot of different islands that man
could be on.
Okay.
Right. So to me, that's projection, and it's a hidden message in that. Like Epstein could not be gone. I don't have no evidence of it, but I'm just going by Trump's logical, his logic and the way he thinks. And so for you to be trying to resurrect somebody, so to me, you're saying that Epstein is really not gone. So we need the proof.
Maybe there's a hidden message in this picture.
Yeah, I see a hidden message in it.
The Epstein files do need to be resurrected, and maybe he didn't know that he's saying that the Epstein files gonna be resurrected. Maybe that's what the hidden message is.
Maybe, I don't know, but
maybe
I
it's
know
God
I
speaking
know
through
it's a
this
message
picture.
though, knowing him.
Well, we will see what happened with Epstein, because it's not going away, Trump. I'm sorry. You can try
No,
your
because
hardest.
because Melania decided to resurrect Epstein, and she needs you to quit the lies on her.
Right. Look, speaking of resurrecting Epstein, we have Melania Trump, who came from the cave of the White House and decided that.
Wait a minute, hold him up. She was in some caves.
Well, ain't no telling where she been hiding. She definitely don't come out and speak publicly. I mean, and after you listen to her speak, you probably know one of the reasons why she don't. But
well, she said the Epstein files is false, and you need to quit talking about me because it's all a lie. I want to know if she been here for 20-something years plus, why the hell she can't speak English better than she does. So I don't want to hear nobody else say anything else about our country voice after y'all get through hearing y'all magnificent first lady.
Because it's been immigrants that came here for a year, and they sound like fucking
Americans,
Valley girls, and
right.
know. So you can't tell me if you wanted to speak like a real American that you couldn't. She chooses to speak like this.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it is, people who speak multiple languages, even with accents, can still sound intelligent.
Right. She don't know the correct English. She don't know the correct format. She don't know where to put she don't know where to put the comma or the question mark or the exclamation mark. She has no clue.
You know how some foreign people, you feel like you have to be like, when you go, you're gonna go to the right, and you're pointing and you're trying to talk slow so that they understand everything that you're saying.
Right.
That's how it sounds like you have to talk to her for her to understand, because this woman, I mean, we'll just listen to her and you guys make your own assessment.
Good afternoon.
Turn it up soon.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today.
What I'll do is take the background music out.
About me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect.
Wait a minute, we got to go back. First off, this dramatic entrance.
The lies linking me with.
She had to get right into it. She did say, I'm grateful to be here. I hope everybody's having a great day.
Yeah.
God bless America.
My butt further notice or none of that.
She said,
good afternoon.
The lies about me need to end right now.
It need to end right now. I am an innocent woman. I did not sleep with that man, Jeffrey Epstein.
The disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein.
The disgrace.
Need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather
how can you with
I reject
married
their
to Donald Trump?
mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties.
I was just his employee for one time.
Donald, when you were on all the pictures of Epstein on the island that you say you wasn't friends with, and there are emails with you in this lane.
That emails, that is just me responding like normal people do.
And don't disrespect me. Like, because I don't even know why you brought this up, because at the end, was she mad at Donald? Is she
I
mad at
don't.
him?
This is like, is this sabotage?
I don't know if it's sabotage, deflection, projection. I don't know what to call this, because no one was even thinking about Melania, first of all. Sis, you were in the files, but nobody was really calling you out. You put yourself in this. You think she's jealous because she wasn't getting enough attention for being in the files? Because people really was trying to respect her and not
No.
really put her in the files like that. Okay, they called her out a little bit, but they was on Donald's butt more than they was on Agent Orange more than they was on her, and so she just brought all the attention to light. So now, yeah, they're gonna
No,
roast
this
her
is what
now.
you call rose. This is what you call reverse psychology. See, this what happened. They got into a real big argument,
Uh-huh.
and she like, don't forget. I know.
I have the dirt on you, Donald. I have the dirt on
So
you.
what she said, so what she did, just to make him quiver a little bit, so she knew that he know.
Wait a minute. She made him quench his butt cheeks.
Yeah. She wanted him to quit. So she said,
Clench them cheeks, baby. Clench them cheeks.
she said, don't forget what I can do. So she came out and made this public statement saying, I ain't have anything to do with it. This is all lies. But I feel like it was just to resurrect it, because she trying to tell Donald, look, fuck this war. I will end you.
So
So
now we'll be hearing in the news and watching a couple weeks. Prenup is gonna get updated one more time. This is gonna cost you, Donald. This is gonna cost you.
yeah. Let's keep watching this train wreck of press conference.
as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with
Read a book.
Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell.
I wouldn't dare
My
Trox.
email reply to Maxwell cannot be
Hey, Carol.
categorized as anything
Categorize.
than
What's
casual
categorize? The categorize.
as
I
anything
don't
more.
know.
Let me listen.
False.
My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more.
See, this is what I'm saying. She don't even
Don't
take
even
the
know
time to pronounce her damn words.
Right.
Categorized. You are the first lady.
What's she trying to say? Characterize?
I think she's trying to say categorized. They can't be categorized.
Categorize? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's doing the best that she can. And Truck say the proof is in the bookie. I write it so it for true. But
For true.
for true.
Than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce.
Well, they say you're not his victim. You're one of his employees, but
So y'all heard first from Melania. She says she's not a victim. So, when it's time to go to court, when it's
Yeah.
all said and done, you're not a victim. So don't try to get on the bandwagon when they sue. We don't need you trying to sue the Epstein estate at all. Don't put your grubby hands in it, because you're not a victim.
Right. Mm-hmm. You're on the record.
Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania.
My book.
The first time I crossed paths
In my
with
book,
Epstein was in the
Melania.
year 2000 at an
2000.
event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings.
The funny thing is, if she was telling the truth, why she got to read it out like that? Like, why you can't just say it out your mouth?
Yeah.
Every last word she says, she got to make sure she reading it from that page
Well,
because
she want
the
to make sure
shit's
y'all
made
get the
up.
full understanding. And sometimes when you're speaking in public, you may forget some things.
Well,
And
yeah,
so she has a script. She has a script that she need to read so that you guys can totally understand, what's going on here. But yeah, you're absolutely right. So
it's fully
you
scripted
could
though.
free fall, man, because this
Yeah,
not even something that you have to be scripted. Because if it's all true, you wouldn't need a script to go follow that. You can free fall that one.
right.
Carol said her tone put her to sleep.
Numerous fake images and
Fake
statements
images.
about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media.
Be calculating.
First off,
Hey, Just Lydia, thank you for
it's
joining us.
Epstein and I. Like you got a script and you can't even get the damn grammar correct. The
Right.
hell?
For years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had.
But your husband was in there. I think he could be in there just as much or even more than Epstein's name is himself.
She's not in
So,
them.
but
She's
she
not
says
a witness.
she not a
So
weakness.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
she ain't a witness. She ain't a victim. So she said, y'all get,
Oh, she not a witness. Oh, I thought
yeah.
she said I'm not a weakness.
No, she said she's not a witness, nor is she a victim.
Oh,
So when y'all take y'all butt to court, don't put her in none of this crap. Cause
right.
she ain't. Her name is Bennett, and her ass ain't in it.
Now what Trump did,
Yeah, he done what he did.
just make sure we separate,
Yeah,
cause I
separate but and not equal.
Any knowledge of
No
Epstein's
knowledge.
abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island.
Girl, you lying now.
lies.
Girl, we got
I have
pictures of
never
you on
been
that island
legally
now.
accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically.
Hold them up, hold them up.
My attorneys and I have.
She said, y'all messing around with her good name. Child, your name has not been good ever since we've known your name. There's nothing good coming from your name, baby.
Your
But
name, your
go ahead.
name turned to shit as soon as your last name changed to Trump. So
That part. But she said, don't
you,
be messing up her good name, baby.
baby, you did that when you said I do.
And she said it's all Donald's fault. It's nothing. I had nothing to do with it. It's all Donald.
That's
Please do
pretty
not
much what she's
include me in.
saying.
Yeah, and that's how the Trumps do. They throw every damn body under the bus, including each other. I
Yeah,
don't. I've never seen. This is a weird type of relationship.
yeah.
Michelle Obama would never.
She said I'm not a witness. I don't know
Right.
nothing.
Right.
I didn't have no connection. Was never on no island.
Yeah.
Whatever you see about Trump is Trump. Remember, I'm separate. I do not have any affiliation. Fuck that motherfucker. Do
I
not
don't even
come to
know
me when
him.
y'all start prosecuting him
Yeah, in a
because
minute,
he don't
she
have
gonna
nothing to do
deny
with
knowing him. She gonna deny knowing this man in a minute. She ain't gonna even know who Donald is. The Donald, I was not married to the Donald. I don't know him.
Yeah. So y'all, I'm telling y'all, they had an argument, and she said, okay, I'm gonna show you."
Yeah.
This is just a little bit of what she is willing to do, y'all.
But Laura said she was at the Kit Kat Club. And they
Baby.
all went down there, ran by Ghislaine. That's what Laura said. And Goddard said, it's not a coincidence that Trump rhymes with dump. Exactly, Goddard. That's exactly how we feel. He said she had y'all, in actuality, she is throwing Dookie Dunn under the bus. Yes, we can't call him Dookie
That's
Dunn.
what we saying. That's what we say. And you know what? Dookie Don is a good name for him in his administration.
Very great name. Yeah.
Is the fucking septic tank that has to fucking process and clean the shit that comes out of his mouth every time he speaks and every time he posts something. So we're gonna call the damn administration the fucking septic tank.
Yeah.
To Donald Trump's to Dookie Don. Yeah. So
Castoria said Castia. How do you say that? Castoria?
Catorcia.
Because Catorcia said he bought her from Epstein Island last night.
Right.
Ruined her first meme.
She said, I am not a victim. Yeah. I got paid very handsomely. As a matter of fact, look at me now. Right. So, I mean, how can I call myself a victim?
Right.
All
She's not a victim, so don't try to pull her in no court cases. Y'all hear all of that? Victims? Okay.
Fought these unfound and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation.
Your sound reputation.
Sound? That's a choice
Several
word.
Individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and retract their lies about me, such
about
as Daily Beast, James Carville, and HarperCollins UK.
James Carville. Ooh.
Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein
You ain't never
was not
lied.
alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth.
You ain't never lied.
I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors.
Let's do
Give
it.
these victims their opportunity
And let Trump
to
be there too.
testify under oath
He likes to go to
in
hearings
front of
now.
Congress with the power of sworn testimony.
So he can take a nap.
Each and every woman should have
Nah,
the
you're right.
day
He
to
shouldn't be
tell
there.
her
He's gonna try to
story
intimidate
in
them.
public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank
Your
you.
mama N-word, bitch.
They think they hurting our feelings. That child,
Oh, they
we've been
I
called.
just said-
Listen, Shoemaker, we've been called worse, child.
About better.
that don't hurt our feelings at all, child.
At all. And you notice they said N-words. They was too chicken shit to actually say the words.
Well, I told them to be careful what they put in our chat.
If you put that dumbass shit, you might as well say the word.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on, you think she
scary
care
ass.
that people be mocking her? That lady is above all of that. Sure, she is. That's why she out there on that podium trying to reclaim her fake fame that she thinks she has, and her what she say her good name.
Yeah, that she never
trying to
had.
reclaim her good name that she never had. She came over here as a.
They say Einstein visa, but I say it's an Epstein visa. Shit.
Wait a minute.
Because
She
he
came
had
over here.
connections.
She came up here 304 and in the modeling
You're
agency.
right.
So.
Right. She slept her way up to Donald Trump. God
There you
damn it,
go.
if you ask me.
Right, that part. You know, they always want to talk about Kamala slept her way to the top show. So did Melania.
And I ain't retracting my opinion.
Right.
And then she do this dramatic walk off. Like, girl, still
like she really said something.
Yeah. That any of us understand. You know,
Right.
girl, sit your dumb ass down. And speaking of let's look at Megyn Kelly because she another dumbass broad.
Right.
But it's like we got to give these people because they are coming to the light and they are speaking truth to power because they do have an audience and a base who listens to them. Hopefully, one thing about it is they have not veered away from going against Trump. So apparently, whatever base they had is loyal to them because they've still their views is still up. We was looking at Candace Owens earlier live talking about this shit. She was still 100,000 viewers, live. So
Trump said nobody ain't listening to them.
yeah. He has things sadly mistaken, obviously, because
And it's
and they're
very
getting more
ironic. It's
vocal.
very ironic. Those are the same people that help him get in office that he's retaliating against at this point.
Right. But let's look at what Megyn Kelly had to say about Melania's, she her speech that she decided to give us out of nowhere, out of the blue.
You likely did not miss, but we've got to tell you more about, is the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump's previously unannounced remarks yesterday about Jeffrey Epstein, which seemed to come out of nowhere. The First Lady taking to the microphones at the White House saying she barely knew Epstein and his accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, vehemently denying that Epstein had introduced her to President Trump and saying, quote, Epstein was not alone.
Sometimes white people are funny to me. They be making me laugh because they think that with having a proper accent or properly enunciating your words, even if you don't know what you're saying, makes you sound smart.
And hell, what's proper? Because this America.
Yeah.
So what's considered proper? Even if you go to the UK, that's proper. But in
That's
America,
proper.
everybody in America, everybody's speaking any kind of way. So
Look at Donald Trump. So, but I mean, they
who can't
think
even
that,
complete one sentence.
but they think because black people speak like like how we speaking, that we're dumber than them.
Yeah.
That we're less educated than they are because they try to
But that's not what
overpronounce
my
the
degree
word.
say. That's not what my degree in my history say. But I'm gonna digress and let them go. I'm gonna let them think what they
That's
want.
why they don't like Jasmine Crockett, even though she's the
Right.
most capable in any room that she go in.
Yeah. Just because we're comfortable and we speak the way that we speak and we're comfortable with speaking, and we're not trying to impress anybody.
Right, exactly. That's
We're
what
from
it is.
we're,
These white
yeah,
people are fucking slaves because they're
right.
the ones that want to go around impressing each other.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
and
they the ones that's
and
too
being
scared
fake
to
with each
say what
other.
they really want to say, have to
Yeah.
be fake in front of each other, talk behind each other's backs, and
Right.
then underhandedly talk about each other in front of each other. That's the type of shit that they do.
Right.
They get, but you know what? We can still have that conversation. We ain't got to switch up how we talk. You receive it, how we give it to you, and you're gonna be happy with that shit. And y'all mad because we
Right.
don't feel like we have to conform just to be around, just so
Just
y'all
to be,
feel.
just so y'all can feel
So
comfortable.
y'all, yeah. So you think that we're
Yeah,
on your level? We don't give a fuck about being on your level. That's what you need to get out of that.
that part.
Then calling for public congressional testimony from Epstein's victims. I have to tell you, everybody in the press was like, what? I mean, it truly was one of those things like, I did not have any relationship with Epstein. Okay, all right. Why are you saying that? Who's saying that you did? Like, this story has kind of come
Came
and
from
sort of
nowhere.
gone, and certainly your piece in it has come and gone, and
Right.
you haven't been center stage on the story anyway.
At
It's really
any
been more your
point,
husband, not you. Like, she got a couple of arrows, but not many. And even the stuff they had on her was kind of peripheral. Like, maybe she knew Ghislaine a little. I know it was like, there was never like she and Epstein were together, or it was like, why did she do this? That's really what everyone was asking. Why? Like, everyone knows in PR, once the storm has passed, you don't do anything to bring it back upon you.
she resurrected that motherfucker just like Jesus was resurrected. That's what she did. And on top of that, I told y'all why she did this. They had a spat, and she trying to show Donald Trump her cards.
I will show thee down. I will go out and make a press conference, and I will piss him off to the highest level of festivity.
She said,
I
"I'm
will show
playing."
him. I will show him who he messing with.
Yeah. She playing 9D chess on his ass. Is what she thinks.
Uh-huh. But also too, though, there is a friend that's coming out with that's going to be doing an interview, and I feel like that's part of it. Also, she's trying to get in front of this story that this lady has on her. Someone that worked that's been a friend to her
So
over
she
the
trying to put it
years.
in everybody's ear that people gonna be coming out with fake news and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. So then when it come out, people won't believe it. Yeah.
Well, the blow be, it'll be a little bit softer.
Right.
The blow will be, the blow won't hit so hard. But you're right, Ray. She hiding something. She's hiding something. And Susan say they are white nationalists, not me. These Republicans are liars and hiding behind the Bible. And she said not all white people are like that. She said that earlier too. And so we're not talking to you, Susan. We're only talking to people like this dude right here.
But you want to know what, Susan?
Mr. Bradley. We're talking to people like him.
And then on top of that, even Bradley wouldn't even be a concern of ours.
Right.
The thing about it, Susan, is that the people that are in office are the representation of you guys as a whole right now. Because guess what? They are promoting a white nationalist, a white supremacy movement to push black people out. And they have the actual power to put these practices and what, albeit he's doing most of it through executive order, but they do have the power to put this stuff into action and into law. You know what I'm saying? These are racist policies that white people are pushing, just like how they did at the beginning of the inception of America, to try to make black people stay oppressed and never be able to get to the point to where we're equal to another white person. And that is a problem. And that should be a problem for all white people. And there should be no issue with hearing that this is what's going on, because it's just facts.
Like, if she doesn't want people talking about her relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell or whatever it was with Epstein, then she shouldn't talk about her relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell or Jeffrey Epstein, especially when, has that been in the news? Have any of you been seeing that in the news? The news right now is nonstop Iran. And that's why some people are speculating, was this meant to distract people from Iran? Like, did they use Epstein to distract from Iran and then Iran to distract from Epstein? Like, and then Epstein once again to distract from Iran?
Megan, that's what we're trying to figure out.
Right. That is, I mean, what? That's the $1 million question. What is going on here?
Right.
Have you got, I mean, there's absolutely no order in this administration. It's all chaotic.
But I do know it's very strange that, not being at the center of the storm, this woman who has been media savvy now for 10 years decided to make herself at the center of it. And here's a sample of what she said.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me.
What about the images linking you with Jeffrey Epstein? What about all this, the files in the Epstein files that link you to Jeffrey Epstein? Like, what about that? Because that's what where the links are coming from,
Right.
the actual evidence and proof.
Baby,
So,
we're looking at these images. We're looking at these pictures, all these pictures, all these partying pictures that you and Epstein was taking. We're looking at all of that.
Right.
And Andrea says she sounds guilty as hell.
Devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach.
Let's see, because I don't want to hear another. We want to listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
To gain financially and climb politically must stop.
Somebody said, why
Okay.
was she on the pose? She
I was
saw
like,
that picture.
I think everybody in the media was like, got it. But like, what was this apropos of? Like, it caused immediate and widespread speculation that some hit piece is about to drop on her that we don't know about. And then in media circles on X, people were like, who's got it? Who's working on it? Let us know. Did they reach out to the White House for comment? Is that what led her to do this? She's trying to get ahead of a story. No one's saying that they're working on it. No one's saying, yeah, I'm about to drop something on her. Right now, as of this hour, it appears she's responding to just little tiny things that had been released about her that, again, no one was talking about. Now, this happened a while ago and does relate to what she was saying there. Okay, so if she's just kind of had enough, I mean, I'll get to this in a second, but there was an email exchange between someone and Ghislaine Maxwell about Epstein. It was benign. It showed a chummy relationship, or seemed to. And we did recently find out that...
Speaking of, since I just saw her QR code pop up. Y'all, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to I Said What I Said's channel. Also, of course, Off the Record as well, but the link, the QR code at the top of the screen will allow for you guys to be able to go directly to her page so you can subscribe. All right.
The person whose name was blacked out on it was Melania, and the other person was Ghislaine Maxwell. So it shows somewhat of a chummy relationship, enough that they were talking about, like, I want to see you. Oh, but I can't make it happen. You know, it wasn't like, obviously they were friendly, because you don't try to make plans to see somebody that you don't really know, or who's just a mere acquaintance and you never want to spend time with. Okay, but that piece of the Melania Epstein story got filled out this week. That's it. So we're really scratching our heads about what was it? That couldn't have been it. This woman has dealt with a firestorm of media negativity since Trump first came on the national scene. Like, remember when the Access Hollywood tape broke? It wasn't about Melania, but everybody wanted Melania's reaction, because here's her husband on the bus with Billy Bush saying, I just grab him by the you-know-what, and when you're a celebrity, they let you do it. And then there was the Stormy Daniels stuff that came out where she's like, I had an affair with him while he was married to her. And then a People magazine reporter came out and said he tried to make out with her when she was...
I mean, hell, your whole meeting with him while he was married was a fucking scandal. So your whole relationship is steeped in scandal.
And he was married to Tiffany's mama when she met him. He was married to Marla Maples when she met him. So that don't look good either, Melania. You still not looking good in the...
And now she want to have the moral high ground.
Because she got a good name, she say. I ain't gonna forget that her good name is being, scandalized.
She done probably got some vaginal rejuvenation surgeries, and now she thinks she brand new now. So no, I'm joking, yeah.
Ooh, you went there.
Profiling him. Melania was pregnant with Barron at the time and left the room, and he like pinned her against the wall. So my point is not to dredge up all this nastiness. It's to tell you she has been at the center of far bigger media storms and almost never talks. Almost never. I think she gave like one interview to, I think it was Ainsley Earhardt of Fox News after Access Hollywood. That's where she said it was locker room talk. But she does not kind of ever feel the need to go explain herself. She's like a royal in that way. You know how the royals... never complain, never explain. That's their motto. It's kind of her motto too. She's more of the field of like, I really don't care. Do you? You know, the jacket she wore when she went down to the immigrations, the separation camp, so-called separation camps.
Definitely.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce.
We ain't about to go watch do a damn ad on our show.
And they are terrible. They were forced to retract a story and podcast comments by the author Michael Wolff, who wrote a book all about Trump with which he cooperated, and then he dumped on immediately after it hit, because everybody who cooperates with Michael Wolff learns the hard way that's a bad idea. Wolff, in those comments on the podcast, again, Then the Daily Beast wrote an article about it, both of which have been pulled now, alleged that Mrs. Trump was, quote, very involved with Epstein, and even made a claim about when President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, who was, then just Melania, I can't remember her last name, her maiden name, when they first had sex. Now, keep in mind, Michael Wolff and Jeffrey Epstein spent hours and hours and hours together. I mean, like, we know that from the Epstein files. We know that from my own reporting, which I broke to you. And we broke to you the tapes that we had heard, in which he was far more than an independent journalist. He was a participant. He was an advisor, a counselor, a rehabilitator. Michael Wolff was. So he had hours and hours with Jeffrey Epstein. And here he is telling the Daily Beast that he knows when Donald and Melania first became intimate. Now, again, the Daily Beast retracted its write-up of that podcast exchange and then edited the comments we're about to play for you out of the podcast after hearing from the First Lady's legal team, writing in an editor's note, quote, after reviewing the matter, the Beast has taken down the article and apologizes for any confusion or misunderstanding. Now, this has all been aired already. This is already out there in the ether. They've pulled it, and clearly they're not standing by it. But she referenced the Daily Beast yesterday, and it seems like this might be what she's mad about. So we clipped the relevant comments before the Daily Beast took them down. This is what we were on this story, of course, from the beginning. We've been tracking Michael Wolff and what he's been saying and so on. So you have the full context of her response and what it might be replying to. Here's some of what Michael Wolff said.
She was very involved in this Epstein relationship. I mean, there is this model thing, but, and Epstein talks about, and she's introduced by a model agent, both of whom Trump and Epstein are involved with. She's introduced to Trump that way. Epstein knows her well. Epstein says the first time Donald Trump and Melania have sex is on his airplane.
I think I got it. Look, I think
no wonder Epstein had to go.
Baby,
you're talking too much.
You mean to tell me that you don't know Epstein, but the first time that Trump knocked you down was on his plane? God damn.
Trump knocked her down. He knocked her down.
The night that Trump took her down.
According to Michael Wolff, according to Megyn Kelly and Michael Wolff, this is what had happened. So I see why they had to get rid of old Epstein. He knew too much.
Yeah.
Michael Wolff better be careful.
See, that's why he getting the information out. Because once it's out, you can do whatever you want to him.
Yeah, and you heard Megyn Kelly say that they retracted the story, but once it's on the internet, it's forever.
Okay, and now here's more from the First Lady yesterday. But just to reiterate, ripping of the Daily Beast, suggesting they've been lying about her, pointing out accurately she has sent legal threats to them, and they have responded by pulling down their testimonials about her. So clearly they don't stand by what Michael Wolff said. I haven't heard Michael Wolff explicitly comment on it one way or another since then, but clearly the Daily Beast is not standing by that and is responding to the lawyer letter. And here's more from the First Lady yesterday, calling for now congressional testimony from Epstein's victims. And keep in mind, this has been over. Like, the administration has been doing its level best to move on from Epstein, which clearly is what Trump has wanted for months now. Epstein, who's still talking about Epstein? Then he threatened Lauren Boebert. He threatened Nancy Mace. He threatened Thomas Massie. He threatened MTG when she was still back in Congress pushing for more disclosures on Epstein. Trump did not want any more coverage of Epstein, and neither did his attorney general. Well, you know that whole story.
And you know what? We're going to stop it there because we already saw the interview or the press conference where she basically said that she's calling for a congressional hearing for the victims of Epstein, so it could be on the record, even though, they already have a lot of information on the record. But
Well, she better be careful what she wish for. That's all I gotta say. Sometimes you need to leave well enough alone. And like Megyn Kelly said, the story was already it wasn't put down to rest totally, but it wasn't as big as she made it. She blew it right back up because Iran was
Trump.
taking most of the news.
Right.
It was
Trump was
dominating the
doing
news.
everything he could to distract from the Epstein files. That's what I feel is the reason why we're at war with Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Because Israel probably has information to blackmail him as well.
Exactly.
So, the fact that you would resurrect this story and then add to the story by saying now we need a congressional hearing is insane for you to be the first lady. And he is trying to keep everybody away from even thinking about the Epstein files. So
sound like the right hand don't know what the left hand doing. Do it.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to believe you. It may be a little trouble in paradise, and and this is
just playing, but I mean, it definitely could be something like that.
Absolutely, Operation Epstein Fury. Something going on.
Look. Well, Donald Trump again trying to deflect from anything that people could say negative about him is now going against his own coalition of MAGA influencers and, like you said, the people who pretty much put him in office because they were the ones that got a lot of people who didn't know who they wanted to vote for. They followed what they said, and so we're going to see what Donald Trump is doing, but we're going to do it through the lens of Nick Fuentes. He's going to be reacting to Donald Trump going against all
this is
the
going to be
MAGA.
funny. If Nick gonna tell the story, oh my God, everybody buckle up.
Right. So let's get on the ride, y'all.
Stuff, guys. Why do I like it? See, that's how you know I'm evil. That's how you know I might be a little bit evil.
Yeah.
And maybe I just live for the drama a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe I just like to see something happen sometimes. But today, Trump jumps on Truth Social and he just tears Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Tucker, and Marjorie Greene a fucking new asshole in this 500-word devastating truth nuke, orbital strike, rods of God bomb of a post. And I don't know why I like it, because directionally I agree with all these people, but there's something that I just like about this. Anyway, so this is the post. This is Trump. He says, I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. Because they have one thing in common, low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it, their families know it, and everyone else knows it too. Look at their past, look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've all
Oh my God, he said they're low IQ people. They know it. They family know it. Everybody around them that know it. Y'all know it. This man has lost his mind.
The lowest IQ president that we've ever had.
And if anybody knows what a low IQ looks like, it's Donald J. Trump. So
definitely, most definitely, he definitely can testify to that.
But he probably don't know he got a low IQ.
All been thrown off television, lost their shows. They're not even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think they get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them, and their views are the opposite of MAGA. Or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump, not hand-flailing fools like Tucker, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question. Or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex. I love how it just goes on and on. It just keeps going. He writes, or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. It's like, you know, and I shouldn't, why is this so funny to me? Because you know me, I love Alex, and I love, he's really the only one I like, I guess, but there's something so funny that this is the president of the United States just lighting these niggas up, just lighting them up on Truth Social. And because they all supported him for like a decade and voted for him and shilled for him. And then he just lights them up. He writes, or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things, lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so-called pundits are losers, and they always will be. Now, fake news CNN, the failing New York Times, and all of the other radical left news organizations are hailing them and giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They are not MAGA. They are losers, just trying to latch on to MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to, but when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times,
and making posts of yourself as Jesus on True Social.
Right. But they got the low IQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown.
They go
but I
nasty.
no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing right for our country. MAGA is about winning and strength and not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons.
MAGA was about
MAGA
America.
is about making America great again, and these people have no idea how to do that. But I do, because the U.S. is the hottest country in the world.
Yeah, with the highest gas prices, food
and that
prices,
is the 500-word message. Literally five.
And the highest medical cost.
Right.
Like.
But we're the hottest country in the world, and the dollar done decreased. So, you know, the dollar has fallen. So, you know, but we're the hottest, you know, let him tell the story.
500-word Truth Social post
500
from our fearless president of the United States, Donald Trump. And I suppose it speaks for itself. So he really hates these people. And what really is there to say about it that hasn't already been said? He has betrayed MAGA. This movement started in opposition to war. Now it is responsible for the wars. The movement radicalized the masses, now is de-radicalizing them. All of these people supported Trump and sacrificed for the benefit of America first in this movement. Now they've all been devoured by it. They've all been backstabbed and betrayed and thrown under the bus by it. And now they get, instead of rewarded and instead of gaining any type of influence, they get publicly humiliated and attacked. And listen, I have a complicated relationship with some of these people. Megyn Kelly hates me for some reason. Tucker hates me for some reason. Candace Owens hates me for some reason. Alex Jones I like. But there is a lesson in this, which is that each and every one of these people, like I said, they have supported Trump for 10 years. Each and every one of these people, as far as I know, they voted for Trump 3 times. They campaigned for him in 2024. Some of them spoke at the convention. You know it, I know it, and we've all seen it. How many shows has Alex Jones gone to the mat for Trump? In spite of what he knew, in spite of his reservations, in spite of his concerns, how many shows and how much flack did he get? And I say this because I'm most aware of Alex Jones' body of work. How much has Alex defended Trump, fought for Trump, went to stop the steal, supported him in 2016, said it was imperative to support him in 2024, defended him from the witch hunt, from the Russia investigation. And by the way, even when it was hard, even when it was difficult, when he was destroyed by the left and lost everything, and Trump was no help, Trump did not give Alex Jones a pardon preemptively when he could have after January 6th. Trump did not try to assist him in getting censored off of the internet in his first term, and Trump has done nothing in the second term to help Alex Jones in this ridiculous lawsuit and ongoing witch hunt in other matters from the DOJ and from the left. And this is how Alex is rewarded. Think of that. This is how he is rewarded. Trump doesn't help him. Trump doesn't do anything for him, and Alex has no influence. Instead, Trump is going to throw him under the bus literally the second that Alex expresses disagreement with Trump over a policy, which, by the way, Trump himself campaigned against. What is...
But he's absolutely right, though. Trump throw everybody under the bus. If you don't totally agree with him, then you're just shit out. You know, you're shit in his eyesight. You know, you're no good. You're a traitor. You know, he started calling you names, all because you just don't agree with him. And, you know, there's something wrong with that picture. Nobody is going to agree with you 100%, sir, regardless if you're the damn president or not.
You need to be empty inside in order to follow Trump.
Yeah.
You have to be able to conform to anything. You have to be able to be against something one day and then campaign for it the next day if he decides for you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to pretty much, when he says jump,
be a
say how high.
Yeah, be
that's
a puppet. Be a puppet for him.
Your only job.
Right.
Exactly.
And if he changes his mind in 5 minutes, then hell, you
change your mind in 4.
Yeah.
You should have changed your mind before. Right.
Hey, brilliant.
Yeah, you can't even really talk out loud until you really listen to what Trump says. So he really need to give y'all like a pep talk every morning so that y'all know what talking points y'all need to say, because they change by the day.
And you're absolutely right. They look like people. She say Trump only help people that's useful to him, a truly disgusting human being. And you're absolutely right about that.
Yep.
Memphis say he don't hate them people. He just mentally ill. She say our fearless president is seriously depressed. He's blaspheming God. He think he is God. Mentally insane. I concur with you. Memphis Matters.
Anyone who had a grandpa that was going around doing and saying the shit that is coming out of Donald Trump's mouth,
right,
would say it's time for him to be in the home.
Exactly.
We can't do it no more. He's gone off the rails. He needs to be under professional supervision 24/7.
That part.
And the fact that this is our president is scary.
Yeah.
To tell you,
it's very scary. No, go ahead. But it's very scary, though. You're absolutely right about that.
This is the same thing that I have been saying from the beginning. From the beginning of the show, since the 2024 election, about Trump, and it is this: take your own side. Why are people loyal to Trump? Why would you be loyal to Trump? Do you not see who this person is? Trump is not a loyal person. He isn't, and never has been, ever. Hello? When will people wake up and realize this is not a loyal person? Trump is a treacherous person and always has been. Look at all of Trump's closest allies over the past 10 years. People like Jeff Sessions, people like Ann Coulter, people in the Trump organization. How many people have gotten involved with Trump?
He done pardoned literally every big name criminal that has defrauded the American public out of billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give a damn about that. He gave them pardons. He didn't give a damn that these people on January 6th was willing to tear down the fucking White House.
And remember, he pardoned all of them also, because birds of a feather flocks together. Yeah, he pardoned every last one of them. And it's like, if you're a criminal, if you you have low education, you don't know what you're doing, then you're right. You fit right in the Trump administration. Yep. If you're a podcaster, it doesn't matter if you're a podcaster, a newscaster, or even if you're just probably a trash collector. If you say some nice things about him, then he may put you, you make him go to work for him. Just because you're giving him compliments.
Gregory Clark says betas. And I'm gonna say the Republicans, the men on the Republican side, you talk about betas.
Right.
These, I mean, they are lower than betas. These people, like you said, literally do whatever this man tells them to do. They are not even allowed to have their own opinion. The moment that they say anything that is even remotely contrary to Donald Trump, they are all, I mean, they're scared that they'll get primaried or he'll retaliate against them. These
It's
people,
like a kid when you're in the marble game. I'm gonna take my damn marbles back if you say anything about me, and that's what he operates on a child
but
level, in
these
my
little
opinion.
but these little pussy ass Republican men that are so scared of him that they are getting voted out, resigning in record numbers. Like, how could any Republican man be proud to be a Republican at this point? At this point, being a Republican man is just saying that I'm a cuckold. Or I'm pretty much Donald Trump's sub toy.
Well,
They were
Brian
the
said he disagree. He said he think you stupid.
Well, if you think that I'm stupid, I wonder what you think Donald Trump is.
first to endorse him, like Sessions, like Ann Coulter. How many people got sued, like Bannon, like Mike Flynn, like his campaign manager, whose name I forget right now? How many of these people?
And let's not forget that whenever there is a Republican convention, the Grinder app crashes. Wherever the convention is, the Grinder app is crashing. So let's not forget that. And we all saw the scandal with Christy Noem's husband. That's around a whole bunch of other Republican men, and I'm pretty sure some of them probably know exactly what they be doing.
People got involved with Trump, lost everything, sacrificed everything on his behalf, were destroyed, only to be discarded, only to be backstabbed, thrown under the bus. It happens over and over again. And this is just what you come to expect with Trump. It's the scorpion and the frog. You can't take it personally. You can't hold it against him. It's in his nature. It's what he does. He stings these people. And you don't have to be mad about it, and you don't have to moralize about it, but you recognize this is a person in politics. He is not our friend. He is not the savior of Western civilization. He's not God. He's not your boss. He's not your dad. He's a politician. He's a billionaire. He is a billionaire. He is a politician. And this extraordinary movement that he has built, historic as it is, and maybe at one point had noble intentions, always was there to enrich and benefit him. That was always the program. And we thought we would get something out of it. This movement obviously edified the president to an extraordinary degree. Trump was in this arguably from the beginning for his own legacy, for his own aggrandizement. What was the purpose of the MAGA movement? Trump wanted another jewel in his crown. He wanted another feather in his cap. It wasn't enough to be a billionaire. It wasn't enough to put his name on a skyscraper or 10 of them. It wasn't enough to have the biggest game show on NBC and be a celebrity and the rest of it. He wanted to leave his mark on history. He wanted to be like those people in the history documentaries he watches. He wanted to be the leader.
But you know what? When you get out of office, Trump, I hope you know we are erasing you from every document. You will cease to exist in the history after your generations are wiped out. So,
Trump said they're gonna study him in the history books.
no.
He gonna put his shit in the. He want the kids to even study it in school right now.
The only thing that they're going to talk about is how Trump we made the dumbest decision as an American public by voting the stupidest, lowest IQ having president who was dementia ridden from from the start, because he was always saying stupid shit that didn't make sense. and
Well, you know,
almost destroyed our country.
That's that 3D chess he playing. You know, they always saying he playing 3D chess. He playing 3D chess. He playing 3D chess all right to fill up his damn pockets. That's all. That's the only chess piece he pulling out
Yeah,
to make sure his pockets get full while yours get empty.
that's it.
And we thought that if we conferred those benefits on him, if we made him our king, then we would get something out of it too. That there was this coincidence of wants. We will appoint you the tyrant. We will appoint you the leader. And it can be all about you, and it can be your name, and you can put your stamp on it. As long as it is a populist uprising and empowered by the people, you would deliver some of those benefits to the people. But we saw what happened the first term. Didn't happen. Trump betrayed all of his own people. The people from his campaign didn't get jobs in the admin. The people that stormed the Capitol for him did not get pardons. They went to jail. The people that fought the hardest for him, fought the Russia gate and fought in the cabinet and wore their MAGA hats and endorsed him, one by one, they were all discarded, humiliated, mocked, betrayed. There's no excuse. After Trump did not pardon the J6ers, you should have knew what kind of guy he was. He didn't put Clinton in jail. He didn't build the wall. He didn't make allies with Russia. He didn't put Israel in its place. He did none of the things he promised. He didn't help any of the people that voted for him or any of the people that fought for him. As a matter of fact, in many ways, he only hurt them. And this is why in 2024, I said, loyalty to Trump, I don't owe Trump anything. What more do I owe Trump? What more does anybody owe this person? We voted for him twice. And many of us were there for stop.
If you ask me, and this is the damn problem I have with people in America nowadays. Why the fuck do we need to serve this motherfucker? He is a public servant to us. We are his boss. Why the fuck are we beholden to what Trump says and what he thinks and everything that he says we should just... No, that's not even the job of the president.
But he don't even know what we should do. Because he changes his mind, you know, every 5 seconds.
When his gut changes. When his gut... If he have a bowel movement, he might have... I mean, which that happens multiple times a day in that diaper, but
yeah,
that's the reason why his damn rhetoric and his, you know, the reason for the war changes multiple times a day.
Well, Alice says she mad at Nick for just saying this now. He should have said this before the campaign, before the election.
Well, yeah, true.
They all waking it up now. They waking up.
Up the steal.
But see, the thing is, these are elitist bigots and racists and shit like that. So the first thing that they led with was their hatred. So they led with their hatred, and that's what brought all this coalition together, because these are hateful, racist people. And the thing is, these elitists, though, they're not willing to endure all of the pain that these hillbilly, bottom of the barrel, you know, low IQ, trailer park living
people like this
MAGA motherfuckers are willing to endure, because they don't give a fuck. You know, they they used to not having shit.
That part.
So they just like the black people. You know what I'm saying? They can endure. But these elitist motherfuckers, they like, oh hell no, Trump, you got us. They not billionaires. You know, they're not billionaires, so they don't get the favor that these other billionaires get.
Right, and that's really who he's looking out for. He's looking out for his rich, extra rich friends that are billionaires, and he's looking out for himself and everybody else. You know, to hell with everybody else.
Take the crumbs we throw your way. And be
happy.
Shit,
the way the rat he going, he ain't even throwing no crumbs.
Yeah, he's so greedy. He taking and
he taking crumbs and all. he cleaning a whole chicken bone. Ain't even no damn gristle left on the chicken bone. He get through.
And then going around to everybody's house to clean them out too.
Yeah.
And many of us were holding down the fort on the internet, fighting the meme war, and we were spreading the gospel of Trump and wearing the hat and doing all these things. And we all paid a price in our own way, whether you were ostracized, disinvited from a Thanksgiving dinner, fired from your job, expelled from school, punched in the face, banned on Twitter, put in jail, died. Some people died. We all suffered in our own way. And what were we rewarded with in the end? A vaccine, BLM riots, a jail sentence after J6. Nobody got their Twitter accounts back. There was no tech Bill of Rights or anything like that. We got nothing. And so in 2024, this was the only group of people, the Groypers and me included, that said, hey, let's snap out of it. Let's adjust to the information that we've gotten. And let's just realize we have to put America first, not Trump, not the GOP, not whatever. We have to put Americans, us. We have to put the country first. Trump won't do that. He can't do it, so we don't need him. But we were convinced by all of these people, Tucker, Megyn, Candace. I'm not going to say Alex because I like Alex, but he campaigned for Trump too. All these people told us, no, we need to vote for Trump. We got to do it one last time. Some people even went further and they say, loyalty to Trump is my only ideological value. We owe him. I'm loyal to the president. Look at what that has profited us. Nothing. And look at what it has profited the biggest cheerleaders. They just get bitch slapped across the face. And what's amazing is that they still don't have a clue. Think about, and this is what I want to say, because this is the most important part. This is what you need to know, aside from maybe giving you some emotional catharsis here. Megyn Kelly said this week she's still going to vote Republicans in the midterms. She said, I'm still going to vote for the Republicans. Then she doubled down and said, even if Trump nukes Iran, I'm still voting Republican. What? How about now? Now that Trump has attacked all these people, are you still going to vote Republicans? I'm sure she would say yes. Even after all this, they still want you to keep voting. Same thing with Tucker. Tucker was at the RNC in 2024 saying Trump is the leader of our nation. He may not be the president, but he's the leader. Remember that? Remember that? Tucker went to the Republican convention in July 24 and said, Trump may not be the president, but he's the leader. He's our leader of America.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't trust none of these people. Let's just be very honest. Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones, this guy, Nick Fuentes, all of these people are soulless people who are just following, opportunities. They're opportunists, they're podcasters, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is the reason why it's important to play this stuff is because just how they can identify it now, we know.
Some of them.
Well, what I'm saying is they can articulate everything that everybody else sees with with clarity, and it allows you to for me, it makes me believe that these people knew what they were doing from the jump. They knew what type of person Donald Trump was from the jump, and
they all was getting paid,
and
to
the money
support him.
exactly was raking in, and now he's in office. He don't need you anymore. There's no need, you can say whatever the hell you want. They don't care about you anymore. You're nothing. You're worthless. And they got spoiled by the money. And like I said, these are elitist,
podcasters. But at the end of the day, though, like Nick is saying, he's one of them that helped him get in office.
Yeah.
And so he drunk the orange Kool-Aid just like Candace did, and Joe Rogan. And
no, it was the green Kool-Aid, the cash Kool-Aid.
The cash. Okay, they drink the cash Kool-Aid, yeah. And they got burned, but they should know, like Nick said, look at it, any and everybody that has ever worked for this man or under this man, he's crapped on them.
He knew that though. Like he knows that now. You knew that when you were campaigning for him. Nothing has changed. His history is still the same. And you guys were promoting this shit.
Right.
So, but because it's only halfway through and it's already, kind of late. So let's get into the Piers Morgan segment and we can wrap this up. Even though I'm sure we're not going to get through a lot of Piers Morgan, but I think he did bring up some great points. So let's see here.
On my panel, Vincent Ashana, PBD podcast Angry Patriot, host of the Dan Abrams Show on SiriusXM and YouTube, Dan Abrams, Fred Fleitz, the Vice Chairman of the America First Policy Institute, and John Fugelsang, author of the book Separation of Church and Hate. Well, welcome to all of you, all with slightly different perspectives, I think, on this. Let me start with you, Dan Abrams, if I can. I mean, there's so much going on, almost 98% of it driven by what comes out of Donald Trump's mouth or his social media posts in the last 6 weeks. I can't get my head round any consistent strategy or logic to pretty much any of this. And I've really reached the conclusion that he got into something, almost certainly at the enthusiastic behest of Israel. He's got into something that he now wishes he could get out of.
Not at the
but he has
behest
no
of
idea how to get
Israel.
out of it. Am I wrong?
No, I think that's probably right. But I think that we need to separate out. You mentioned sort of getting caught up in the social media side of it, right? What he says, and we all respond and we react. And you're right. We do, right? That's typically what generates the news cycle. This is different. This is actual action. This is lives lost. This is $1 billion a day. This is a now situation where the exit doesn't seem clear. And, look, you can argue that militarily this has been a success, right? And that's what the administration would say. The follow-up question to that is, okay, that's true. It has. But then what? What have we achieved? What were the goals that we were seeking here? And now Iran is standing up to the United States. I mean, think about that. The United States and Iran held sort of face-to-face meetings, equals. And Iran stood up to the United States and said, no, we're not doing it. And so the response is, all right, well, we may bomb them again. Okay. Now, look, the blockade actually kind of makes sense in terms of trying to put pressure on them, but there's nothing that indicates it's going to work. And that's the question that we have to focus on. What is the goal here?
Iran clearly is willing to go endure whatever pain America tries to inflict on them. But if we think about this, what have we really accomplished with the trillions of dollars that they asked for $1.5 trillion for the new budget. What are we gaining for spending all this money?
We're gaining BB's silence is what we're gaining. So BB won't pull out them tapes that he got going on. That's what we're gaining.
Right.
Yeah.
This administration should be prosecuted to the fullest extent for treason and the way that we have Israel in our government, intertwined with our government right now, is sickening, and it should be against the law. If it's not already against the law, it should be against the law, and these people should be in jail because we are getting nothing out of this war. For America, this is like an act against your own country.
Yeah, it's an act of terrorism, in my opinion. Is what he's
because
causing.
We have gotten nothing but higher gas prices, higher automobile prices, higher grocery prices, higher electric bills, less coverage for insurance. This is insane, and the American people can't even pay their house payment with what's going on.
Yeah, people losing their homes, their cars, they're filing for bankruptcy, they're living off of credit cards just to even purchase groceries.
He is trying to end the naturalization birth rights citizenship.
Yeah.
So if you're a baby and you and your parents are immigrants and you're born here, you're deported at your birth, I guess.
Welcome to Project 2025, baby.
This is like, I don't know what kind of America we have going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would have told me that this would be our country 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I would literally, I would think that you're, just trying to make up dramatic stories, for ratings. This never in my wildest imagination could have been possible 5, 10 years ago that our country
Right.
is in the state that it's in. But
I would have never
we
thought that
are.
we would have such an erratic, deranged, unhinged dementia president, in
Yeah,
office that can't make a solid decision.
I wouldn't imagine
One,
that the administration would be so full of sexual predators, allegedly,
yeah, and criminals.
and criminals.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe that the administration would be made up of billionaire class people that don't represent the everyday average American human being.
Right.
Like
And the
these,
sad part is not that many people in Congress is even speaking out about it. So it leads me to believe that, is everybody on board with this? Is this what is this a deal that you guys made in the back rooms or what's going on? Because, if it was Barack Obama or Joe Biden, the Republicans would be screaming and pounding their chest. They would be screaming to the top, to the highest top of the highest building that's in America
like
about the
how they
corruption that's
did
going on.
with Obama wearing that tan suit.
Yeah, with Obama wearing the tan suit and Hillary Clinton cleaning up a few emails and Bill Clinton getting a little fellatio going on, And
Yeah.
so, those were just total scandals. But, this dude here, he could threaten to eliminate a whole country.
He could pose himself as Jesus.
Yeah, and say he's Jesus. That's resurrecting his buddy Epstein.
Resurrected Epstein.
And so, and nobody is saying a word. Everybody just going on about their day like nothing is happening. It's just a normal day in America.
Right. He's playing 12D chess.
12D dementia chess. Don't forget about that part. Somebody said he playing dementia chess.
12 dementia chess.
Is the end? What are we trying to achieve?
Yeah, and I don't think we know, and I'm not sure President Trump knows. Vinny, welcome back to Uncensored. Great to have you back. Look, from where I'm looking, everything Dan said is correct. We were told, the New York Times did a big deep dive into this that revealed how Benjamin Netanyahu painted a picture of a sequence of events that would happen if the Americans joined Israel on this mission, and if they took out the Ayatollah, then the IRGC would be irrevocably damaged, then the people would rise up, and they'd all be so distracted that no one would notice the Straits of Hormuz and it would be irrelevant. None of that, apart from the first bit, has happened. The regime is clearly still firmly in place, albeit it's lost a few people, but they've been replaced by like-minded people. You've got the supreme leader being replaced by his son, for example, argument's sake, apparently wounded, but is alive and will be the new supreme leader. You have the people not uprising at all, not even rising up in the way they did in January when they were protesting. And the Strait of Hormuz has become this extraordinary economic battering ram being used by Iran to effectively hold the United States to ransom over literally a barrel or a few million barrels. Where's the win here, Vinny?
Well, thank you for having me back on, Piers. I'm happy to see that you're doing a little bit better and you're a little bit more mobile.
Thank you.
Piers, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the article you're talking about, the New York Times. I've read it multiple times. I've spoken about it, and you nailed it, Piers. The first two were decapitating the Ayatollah, crippling the Iran's capacity. But then the two main ones, the regime change and the uprising from the people. And one of the best quotes in that meeting, John Ratcliffe said it was farcical. Marco Rubio said, in other words, sir, it's BS. I'm not going to say the word. And then the most important one by the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Raisin Kane, he said, sir, this is, in my experience, standard operating procedure for the Israelis. They oversell, and their plans are not always well developed. They know they need us, and that's why they're hard selling. So, Piers, in that meeting, apparently, it was Bibi Netanyahu with Mossad on a Zoom call behind, and they pitched. Nobody was on board once Bibi left, but for some reason, the president went through with it. And having, my family's from Iran, Piers, as you know, we're Assyrian. And the people, we forgot about the people. What about the people? Now it's all about the oil. Now it's all about the Hormuz. And I just think Israel just, this is what Israel does. And at the same time, Piers, when we're basically, our troops, this all started, let's not forget, Marco Rubio on camera said, all right, he said, well, we didn't want to strike first, but since Israel was going to go and our assets, our soldiers, 13 of them, God rest their souls dead, they're going to be put in harm's way, so we got to go first. Piers, that really, really bothers me that he has that much control that since they're going to go, we got to go. And for a nation, Piers, which bothers me, you mentioned this, I believe, last week, a nation that we all know has nuclear weapons, but we all have to play this game like we don't know that they have nukes. Do you know how dangerous that is? The Non-Proliferation Treaty, they're not in it, Piers. If, God forbid, they use a nuke, we can't even point and say, hey, it was Israel, because technically they don't have it, Piers. I think the people in the president's ear, they're not giving him good information. They're kind of swaying him that they want to. And Jared Kushner is over there with Steve Witkoff. Jared Kushner, does he even have security clearance, Piers? He's married to Trump's daughter, and he's known Bibi Netanyahu, Jared Kushner's family. Charles Kushner has known him since he was a child. So that's a little conflict of interest.
My bad. Yeah, that's not even a little conflict of interest in my book. That is a huge conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm.
First off,
too, ain't he?
Huh?
I say, homeboy spilling tea.
Ain't he? Ain't he?
Yeah, he breaking
They
it
don't
all
even
down.
have their nuclear weapon registered. Like
Right.
nobody, like it ain't even there. But the fact that they sent these group of people, JD Vance included, is the equivalent of you and I going out there to negotiate with these people for peace negotiations. None of these people have any experience in peace negotiations and soft power and diplomacy or any of that. And like he's saying right now, one of the people grew up with Bibi Netanyahu to the point where I think Bibi actually stays at this man's house, or he stays at Bibi's house when they travel to each other's countries.
Buddies. So they didn't go over there to negotiate anything. It was all for a show. Because at the end of the day, that's what the Secretary of State does. And what was the Secretary of State? His ass is at the WWE with Trump. While Trump rubbing on the WWE fighter knees, telling him he looked too good to fight. He ought to be a model.
yeah. He's trying to find him a new Bubba.
Yeah, he's trying to find him a new Bubba at the wrestling match.
Yeah.
They got Marco Rubio looking stupid. Marco Rubio looked like he got on orange makeup and looked like he's drunk as a skunk. He having a good time when he should be over there negotiating. Since he's really technically the only one in office that's really have any type of foreign policy experience, because he's been in the Senate and he's been on the foreign relations committees.
Baby,
so
Marco Rubio and Trump was at that wrestling. They was in hog heaven out there. They didn't have no time to do no peace negotiations. They was trying to do some peace negotiations, but not with the type of pieces that we was talking about.
And
they was looking for some other kind of peace.
Right. And in my opinion, Marco Rubio really is the most qualified person that's in the administration, because he is the only one that has been in Congress, as a senator. And so he the only one that could possibly know what he's talking about, because Jared Kushner don't have a clue. I guarantee you Jared Kushner went over there trying to get some deals.
Yeah.
We're trying to get some golf courses and shit, because that's what he do when he go overseas.
Deals.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
trying to get some real estate deals. Exactly.
He said, what can y'all hook us up with? And
let's put some more money in our pockets. Yeah, right. Iran. Yeah.
Yeah, if Iran would have been saying the right stuff.
And how come we didn't see these peace talks on TV? Did they even meet with Iran? I'm wondering that at this point, because ain't it supposed to be a news conference or something? Where they supposed to get up and say whether it's a deal or not, or no deal? Because normally when you meet with another country like that, don't they have it on TV and cameras
First off,
around and interpreters and shit? And we get to hear about the meeting. We ain't heard nothing.
even if it wasn't broadcasted, I don't know if you can come back after a 20-hour conversation, after you done destroyed, the naval system, you done killed the Ayatollah, you done, I mean, you done took down the Navy. How you think that a 20-hour conversation is long enough for negotiation talks?
Right,
Like,
because normally with something like that, that's not an overnight deal. Normally, when you're negotiating with a country, it takes months to get a deal. It don't happen like you
right.
say. It don't happen in a day's time. Well, less than a day's time if it's 20 hours.
I mean, it happens in less than a day's time if you're not really there to negotiate.
Well, I
That
guess you got a point on that, then.
let's keep watching.
For me, Piers. And again, when there's American soldiers and our troops are at risk, I'm not a fan of it
Yeah,
at all,
it
Piers.
gets very
Period.
real very, very quickly. Fred Flights, welcome to Uncensored. Now, you're vice chairman of an institute called the America First Policy. I'm really struggling to understand how any of this puts America first. Trump was elected on various big picture promises to the American people. One was he was not going to drag America into pointless, expensive Middle Eastern wars. He's now dragged them into the biggest and most expensive one he could have done. And from where I sit, at the moment, the most pointless.
War in
Secondly, he was
history
going
and the most
to take
pointless.
care of cost of living. He was going to bring down inflation. And all that. Well, the complete opposite is happening.
All
The
lies.
prices at the pump are raging. Food prices will be next because fertilizer's been held up, as well as oil and gas in the Strait of Hormuz. All of this goes, to me, completely contrary to the concept of America First that Trump was selling the American electorate. What do you feel?
Tell him, Piers.
Well, it's great to be here. President Trump answered this last June after the 12-day war when a small number of MAGA critics raised some of these points. And he said, look, I came up with the America First approach to U.S. national security, and I decide what's in it. And stopping Iran from getting a nuclear bomb is part of my approach. And most of his followers agreed. I mean, some of them may.
And that just goes to show you just what came out of his mouth, the sheer idiocracy of this party. Because how does one man, one guy, tell a whole group, half the nation, what they need to do and how they need to move, and they have to conform, they have to move whenever he moves? How does one guy get that power over all of these people unless you're a weak, desperate group of people?
Are you talking about Trump or Benjamin Netanyahu?
Well, both, really, to tell you the truth. Because
if you're talking about BB, it's all about the Epstein file. So that's how he got his power.
well, no, and then
And
also
Trump got his power through manipulation and lies.
right. But I mean, let's be honest.
And racism. So
From what I hear in
that in there.
Israel, they give free health care, education, housing, and we send them money. I don't know I don't think Israel's ever sent us money. Does Israel send us money?
No, not that I know of.
Okay, but we
No,
sent
we've
them
always sent them money.
billions
They need our
and
help to build
billions.
their military up. Let them tell the story. Let old Chuck Schumer tell the story.
So I don't see why the Israelites will be going up against Bibi Netanyahu, because it looked like Bibi Netanyahu got America to fight this war for them. So they ain't gotta they ain't gotta expend their casualties and their resources. America can do it for them, including American lives. Just go ahead and sacrifice them. So if anything happens, but the people that are really still benefiting out of this, is Israel really taking a hit financially, economically?
No, not really. No, they still got free health care over there. And let me address this comment to my only a man raised by God. And really, they meant to say only a man that's raised by Lucifer and that sold his soul to the devil can have this type of power over people. I think that's really what they was trying to say, but the keyboard just got away with them. Auto chick,
Yeah, these people have lost their mind, and it's a bleak future if those are the type of people that are populating America.
You know what I heard?
They should be banned from having kids.
They really should be. But you know what I heard Don Lemon say the other day? And showed a clip of it. He said that when Trump was sworn in, which I didn't even know.
He didn't touch the Bible. I meant to get. I have that. I meant to bring that.
He did not put his dang hand on the Bible because Lucifer is allergic to the Bible.
But he'll sell his own version.
Yeah, he'll sell his
own
Bible,
unholy version.
Yeah, but he don't want the good old King James Bible. He don't want that one. But yeah, he didn't put his hand on the Bible. So really, if he didn't when he got sworn in, he
technically didn't swear in.
Yeah, he technically, he Lucifer played a whole trick on us, and we didn't
in broad daylight.
With his tail wagging.
In broad daylight.
Exactly with this, but they trusted him. I mean, I just take a different approach here. I think we are seeing the collapse of another false anti-Trump narrative. You may remember a week ago we heard that Iran is winning and Iran has the upper hand, that the Iranians will refuse to attend talks with the United States unless they got sanctions relief.
First off, I can't stand anybody that say that Iran is not winning when the biggest issue, you could talk about dismantling the entire fleet, Navy, Army, Marine, Air Force, any of that.
Right.
Why is the Strait still closed?
Since we don't won. And why are we blocking the Strait? Now I heard what was what's his name? John, I can't think of his last name. The man with the white hair, the one that Trump fired. Remember, he was the Secretary of Defense last time in the first administration.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna say that it makes sense. The one that looked like Colonel Sanders. Alice know who I'm talking about. Alice, put his name in the chat. I can't think of his name. The one that was the Secretary of Defense when Trump fired him. That looked like Colonel Sanders. He gonna say it makes sense for us to do a blockade of the Straits. So now we're blocking the Straits also, along with Iran. So I think we finna, I don't want to put this out there in the atmosphere, but I believe it's getting ready. We're inching ourselves to World War III.
Because I was just about to say, China said that because they said ain't nobody about to step
John
in.
Bolton, that's his name, John Bolton. Go ahead.
China said ain't nobody about to interfere with our business deals. We ain't got nothing to do with what you and Iran got going on. Mm-hmm. But if you think that you about to start interfering with our boats coming in and out,
mm-hmm.
then we will be forced to get involved.
Yeah.
And you don't want to see what it looked like when China and Iran get involved, get in cahoots. Because, I mean, I'm inclined to believe that they're definitely capable of a lot more stuff than what we think that they're capable of.
Right. Because China has been building up their military for the last 30 to 40 years.
And they've been breaching our security defenses
the
whole time.
Yes.
So, we always getting a Chinese security breach. So I don't know who they think they playing with. But if they keep this up, it looked like that World War III thing may not be too far away into our future. It looked like it may be closer than far. So
it's gonna be sooner rather than later.
Sooner than later.
Yeah, and that's to me. That's what it's looking like. The road that we're heading down.
Because our ego, Trump and his narcissistic, but he has this big narcissistic I'm the only person that can save you, and I'm
Only
the only
me.
person that can do it.
And only me can fix it alone.
Right. He has this type of attitude, but he doesn't understand that being a leader, you can't lead with people that it's pointless to have them follow you, that can't do anything. The people are the ones that have the power, y'all. We are the ones that have the power, not Trump, is what I'm really trying to say. And at the end of the day, yeah, we got to get this man out of office.
Well, not only him, I think we need to get a lot of them out of office, including on the Democratic side. Because in my opinion, like I said, it's not enough shouting to the rooftops for me. It's not enough disdain for what's going on for me. And they're not talking about it enough because, some of the Democrats want to uphold Israel. For whatever reason, they think Israel is just the holiest of the holy, only because, it's mentioned in the Bible.
Right, exactly.
But they don't understand that they've tainted Israel. Israel is tainted under Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay? It's not that holy ground that you once knew that's in the Bible.
Yeah, it's full of Jezebels and all types of unholy.
And hell, and what is that? What they call hellions? Yeah, it's full of corruption.
It's performing a fucking genocide on
on the rest of the world,
Gaza,
on Iran,
on now Lebanon.
Yes.
So these people are insane, and they're willing to kill any and everybody who stands in their way.
Exactly.
So,
unless there was a full and complete ceasefire, unless Israel stopped attacking Lebanon, they didn't get any of those conditions. Instead, they sent a large delegation to Pakistan. They were the ones who were begging for a ceasefire. They were the ones who wanted a negotiated settlement. We had 3 rounds of talks with them, which I think is very promising. I think the door to a diplomatic solution is still open. And I think Trump has achieved his objectives. Iran will not get a nuclear weapon now. The capability of making nuclear weapons, all the facilities have been destroyed. Iran's so-called missile shield, which Secretary Rubio talked about, is going to be ended. They still have a missile arsenal.
Where's the enriched uranium?
You know what? I have a big difference on that. I've studied this very closely. There may be 9 to 11 weapons worth of uranium hexafluoride that, if further processed, could fuel nuclear weapons. I'm happy to leave that stuff in the ground. Trump has said he's bombed the heck out of it. It's being watched by satellites. I know there's people going on Fox News and saying we have to dig that stuff up and get it out. That's absolutely wrong. We really don't need to do that. We can leave it there. I don't think the Iranians could process it, even if they could dig it out.
Well, that's a massive leap of faith, isn't it? Given that they've indicated the complete opposite. But also, this, in last summer, the 12-day war, when it ended, we were told that's it. They have no way now of developing nuclear weapons. We've ended that threat. Then 8 months later, the United States is launching a full-on war with Iran, precisely to do what they said had been neutralized 8 months earlier. And now you're proposing that the way this ends is the Iranians keep all their enriched uranium, which is 60% enriched and well on the way to becoming maybe 10, 11 nuclear weapons. None of this makes sense to me. I don't think I'm a particularly stupid individual.
After the 12-day war, we were hoping with this ceasefire, Iran would stop its pursuit of nuclear weapons and stop building its missile program. There was a massive increase of its missile program, which the president decided to deal with in January. We started negotiations. The Iranians didn't want to deal. Then the attacks began on February 20th.
How the hell do you think that you're going to stop a civilization, as Trump puts it, from building a nuclear weapon when you threaten said civilization of extinction?
Right.
At some point,
just the other day, you just made that threat.
At some point, you know what? At this point, it ain't even like, I probably need to just have one just on standby, just in case this motherfucker try to do something crazy, like wipe out our entire civilization.
28th. And according to Rubio, if we let them continue this missile program, by the end of the year, there'd be nothing we could do to stop their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were rebuilding the nuclear weapons program, too. Frankly, this all makes sense if you look at what Iran did between June of last year and January of this year.
And your solution is you leave them with all their enriched uranium so they could just do it all over again.
I don't think people understand what this enriched uranium is. It's in the form of uranium hexafluoride. It has to be further processed in uranium metal. Then it has to be put into unfinished and unfueled nuclear devices that probably have been destroyed also. This enriched uranium is poisonous. If you go near it, you need hazmat suits.
Fred, all due respect.
What's that?
A lot of use of the word probably there.
I just think the idea of sending in American troops to dig this stuff out, when I think it's probably unusable or difficult for the Iranians to get. Trump has bombed the heck out of it. He said we're going to watch it with satellites. I think that's the right approach.
Okay. John Fugelsang, welcome back to Uncensored. Great to see you.
Lovely to see you all.
First of all, just your reaction to what you just heard from Fred Flights, then we'll get into the Pope and Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you know, the world had a working, functioning deal to keep Iran from getting nukes, and the U.S. military declared for years that Iran was complying with the terms of the deal. It wasn't just Barack Obama, it was multiple nations that put this deal together. Now, I don't trust anything Trump says, I trust nothing Netanyahu says, and I don't trust the Ayatollahs too much either. But I don't think the generals of the U.S. military were lying to us all those years that the deal was working, and they tore it up, and now they're trying to take credit for solving a problem that they created. This movement has despised the U.S. Constitution as much as they despise the New Testament, and right now we're witnessing many Trump supporters begin to realize that for a decade of their...
These are the arsonists trying to put out the fire.
That they created.
That they created. That's all this is.
Mm-hmm.
lives, they've been enrolled in Trump University. They have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray for 10 years. Vladimir Putin is helping the Iranians attack U.S. bases, and Trump is lifting sanctions on the Russians. We're burning through $1 billion a day on this after years of promising this wouldn't happen. The Strait of Hormuz is now a toll road. Putin's getting rich every day off of this, and we have a president who's threatening mass death on Easter Sunday. Piers, I always thought the point of Easter was people coming back from the dead, not threatening to send more people there. And as far as J.D. Vance, I'm shocked that a smug, abrasive, condescending guy like him failed at diplomacy. But let's be honest, they didn't want a deal because Netanyahu doesn't want this to stop yet.
Well, let's talk specifically then about the two extraordinary religious interventions that Trump has made. I mean, there's actually three, because the Easter Sunday post he made I thought was just appalling. I told him to delete it, and everyone was gleefully telling me, oh, it's on the right. They were saying, Piers, you don't understand. I thought you knew Trump. You know, he'll never delete it. The outrage is baked in. And then, of course, today, when he posted a picture of himself as Jesus Christ, a lot of the very same people were saying, this is outrageous, you should delete it, which he now has. I mean, Ari Fleischer, one of Trump's biggest, most slavish supporters, who will literally defend the indefensible, says President Trump's team should never have posted this image. It's inappropriate and embarrassing. It's offensive. What made me chuckle is, it wasn't President Trump's team, it's him. You know, he does this stuff. He posts it. I mean, he may not physically press the button, but he's the one compiling it and telling people to post it. Riley Gaines, another big Trump supporter. I can't understand why he'd post this. If you're looking for a response, either way, two things are true. A little humility would serve him well. God shall not be mocked. And Marjorie Taylor Greene accused him of blasphemy. In fact, she said it's more than blasphemy. It's an antichrist spirit. Then we have the attack on all the podcasters separate to this, from Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, and others. To which Alex Jones responded, "How do we 25th Amendment his ass?" And I actually had the very uncomfortable thing of Alex Jones agreeing with something I posted about Trump today, which made me question my own judgment.
Thoughts and prayers, Piers. Thoughts and prayers.
But let's come to the attack also in the context of it on the Pope, because Trump on Air Force One, as you're about to board it, said this.
We don't like a pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon.
I mean, he added a few other things. He said, I don't...
You know what? Clearly, this party, the Republican Party, Jesus will be clearly rejected from. They
Oh
couldn't.
yeah, because they don't want nobody to help nobody.
Yeah,
Because Jesus was about helping people and loving everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
good night, Alice. So
Good
no,
night,
the
guys.
Republican Party want everybody to suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want
Yeah,
everybody to suffer. So no, they would definitely
So
reject
Jesus would be way too liberal.
They'll throw him right back on that cross and nail him hard as they could. They stick an extra nails to his hands. They're gonna nail his arms,
cruelty,
his
yeah.
every finger. Just for the cruelty of it, every toe. Every limb that he got will have a dang nail in it. Okay,
With an electrical vote that comes every so often. They they like
you,
that cruelty.
Jesus. Screw you, Jesus. You're not MAGA. You're not MAGA, so you got to go.
You go against Donald Trump. Nail him to the
I dare you go against our daddy. Leave our daddy alone. Jesus be like, my child. I come to save you. No, Jesus, no.
We follow Trump.
Trump is like, Jesus, we fired you. You're fired, Jesus.
We don't need you anymore. We
We
have
don't
Trump.
need you. We got our new Jesus. We got our orange Jesus now. You're old, out with the old in with the new Jesus.
I don't want a Pope who criticizes the President of the United States because I'm doing exactly what I was elected. I mean, as we've just discussed, I'm not sure he is. If I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican, etc. Now, Pope Leo, interesting, because he's the first American Pope, and Trump has gone to war before with Pope Francis. And I remember it well. He attacked him after Francis had said he didn't like people who wanted to build walls, not knock them down. He said, well, it's pretty rich coming from somebody who has a massive wall around the Vatican to protect him. And also made the point that only 20% of Americans are Catholic, so 80% don't care what he has to say, and that he wasn't even American. Well, now he's got an American Pope, and actually 20% of 340 million people is a lot of Americans, many of whom may have voted for Trump. The Pope, interestingly, decided, I'm not having this, and said this.
I have no fear on neither the Trump administration nor speaking out loudly about the message of the gospel. And that's what I believe I am called to do, what the church is called to do. If we're not politicians, we're not looking to make foreign policy, as he calls it, with the same perspective that he might understand it. But I do believe that the message of the gospel, blessed are the peacemakers, is a message that the world needs to hear.
John Fugelsang, he also said, I thought really significantly, I'm not afraid of the Trump administration. It was a real statement of,
So he ain't scared.
you can abuse me all you want, but you're not going to knock me off.
Yeah, he said he with the smoke. He not scared. We can't hear you. But yeah, the Pope said, the Pope said he ain't scared at all. He know who his father is. So take it up with his father in heaven if you got a problem with him. But what he's not is scared of Agent Orange.
Of a dementia-ridden, should be a dementia patient with cankles, with bad makeup patches on his sword, and bruised up hands and neck.
Should be, is. He just ain't in the facility.
Right.
But he's definitely a patient that needs to be wheeled to the facility. That's all. So you go ahead. I'm gonna digress and let you finish up.
My message, which is one of peace, and that wars are bad and you shouldn't be killing people.
Yeah, I mean, look, Pope Leo's boss got executed and came back from the dead 3 days later. He's not afraid of a Truth Social post. And what we see here are one man who's quoting Jesus and one man who can't stop fighting with Jesus. The Pope is saying, don't bomb civilians. And somehow that's become controversial. You know, there's two kinds of Christianity, and there always has been since Rome took over Jesus's operation. There are the Christ followers who actually believe in following the words and commandments of Jesus Christ, humility, caring for the less fortunate, welcoming the stranger. Individuals and nations have to care for the poor and the sick and put away your sword. And then you've got the Christian nationalist strain that's existed since Rome took over, where they believe they own God, they own Jesus, and they work for us. And anything we do is okay because God likes us better. And Donald Trump has harnessed that energy quite well for quite a long time, and now he's overshot the mark. All Leo is doing is literally Christianity 101. And Donald Trump seems to think that's political. Starting a war, threatening genocide, bragging about it online. I mean, like Leo's not the one launching missiles. He's the only guy in this argument who hasn't killed anybody yet. And so I loved Leo.
The fact that he keep calling him Leo though, and that's the Pope, like, don't you think it's a little too
put a little respect
casual
on the man's name, like he know him personally. Good night, Abril. But they that's totally disrespectful.
Leo's response, and all he's doing is modeling what the gospel actually says, which infuriates Christian nationalists.
Right. Dan Abrams, we've got to an extraordinary place. I mean, there's so many extraordinary things that have happened in the last 6 weeks, but the new Iranian president, Masoud Pezeshkian, posted today, His Holiness Pope Leo, I condemn the insult to your excellency on behalf of the great nation of Iran and declare that the desecration of Jesus, the prophet of peace and brotherhood, is not acceptable to any free person. I wish you glory by Allah. I mean, when the Iranian president is racing to support an American pope, the first American pope, against an onslaught from the American president, who is...
Well, let's also be clear. The Iranians are also part of the ceasefire peace deal. They were trying to make sure that Israel stopped its attacks and you know what it's doing to Lebanon. And America said, "No, we ain't getting a part of that. They ain't got nothing to do with us." But
right. But indirectly though, everybody is going to be in it, whether they feel like it has something to do with them or not, because us blocking the Strait of Hormuz, Iran blocking it, nobody can make money. So you're kind of putting the global economy at a standstill.
Well, as it stands, if we're just looking at the Strait of Hormuz, but we also have to think this is Iran's territory. So if anybody could figure out an alternate route or another way around the strait, I'm pretty sure it would be Iran, seeing as that is
it is their land.
So either way, Iran would have the upper hand in this particular scenario. I don't know what America and Israel think that they have, because whatever you have, why aren't the straits open?
Right.
The head of a party which historically has more,
and that they don't have anything that they can really do to open the straits, because why would you block a blockade? The goal is to open up the straits.
Christian voters.
Trump said, hold on a sec. So basically, the reason why we're doing it is because this is his philosophy. If we can't go through, then no one can go through. It's kind of like, when you try to get rid of your significant other, and they say, if I can't have you, nobody else can have you either, so I'm going to take you out. Basically, that's the philosophy that we're doing with the Strait of Hormuz.
Right. Yeah, I get that. But at the end of the day, what they're saying is that Iran, because I guess they're letting all friendly vessels through, what Iran was doing.
Whoever they're not mad at and not in war with, everybody can go through except for the United States.
But then when you get to the Iranian blockade, what are you gonna do?
I guess they're gonna block. Well, he told the ships to block everything. He got our warships blocking it. So I guess some more soldiers finna get unalive because Iran is throwing missiles at our ships that's trying to block the strait. So it's just like I said, it's like a big boiling point. It's a big boiling pot, and in a minute it's gonna burst. And I don't know who's gonna strike first.
Any other in America? What is happening?
Well, the question becomes why, right? Why would he do this?
Right.
And look, you'll have some people on the right who will say, well, we disagree with what the Pope says. Well, we support the president's actions and the Pope doesn't. Okay. But that doesn't mean you got to go after the Pope, right? You can disagree with the things that he's saying and not call him, weak and then make it all about himself, this idea that, oh, the Pope only got his job because of me. He's talking about the stock market in this response to the Pope. You have to ask yourself, what is the goal? It's sort of similar to what we were talking about with regard to Iran. What is the goal? What are you trying to achieve? Why are you doing it? You can disagree. You can be mad at him. You can be upset. There's a way to deal with it. And putting aside all of the religious side that John has talked about, even from a human and political perspective, you have to ask yourself, why is he doing it?
Right. So I've known Trump 20 years. It was 20 years ago. I
Piers
took part
love
in the
to
Celebrity
say that
Apprentice show.
he's known Trump for so
We've
long.
been good friends over the years. We had a couple of wobbles, but largely good friends. I've spoken to him maybe a dozen times since he won second time round. So no, I've known him well and a long time. I just think his behavior is the most erratic I've ever seen. I don't think you can hide behind, well, he's always like this, he likes to. It's more than that. It's almost, he's like he's on some weird frenzied mission now to just piss off as many people as he can humanly do for reasons that when you put it in totality, it's like, as you said, what is the end game? It does raise a specter, which of course the Democrats are gleefully putting forward because, of course, it was raised about Joe Biden. But Hillary Clinton posted today, Trump has become fully unhinged, and we should talk about it. On MS Now this morning, she elaborated, I read these posts, like the majority of Americans, shaking my head and really just feeling sick that we had a president who is such a disgrace. What do you think, Dan? I mean, you've obviously observed Trump for a very long time too. Is he showing signs of behavior so erratic that there should be legitimate questions asked about his cognitive abilities?
Right. So you got to separate unhinged from, quote, mentally ill, right? I see a lot of people publicly diagnosing Trump as if everyone's sort of a doctor, right? Oh, he's mentally ill. I don't know. I do know that the posts and the responses are a bit unhinged. Mentally ill. So I think when people start saying things like, oh, we got to deal with the 25th Amendment now, that's not productive, right? There is going to be no 25th Amendment that is going to action that the cabinet is going to take to remove Donald Trump, right? The 25th Amendment was basically enacted to deal with a president who's comatose, okay? It's not going to apply. But that doesn't mean you can't talk about what he's saying and how unhinged it seems. The remedy is not 25th Amendment. The remedy is Congress, right? Congress is supposed to be the one in a system of checks and balances saying you can or can't do this, and in the worst cases, impeachment. But at the very least, you would think when it comes to Iran, based on what we've seen, that Congress would be able to pass some sort of legislation to say, you got to go through us first. It can't just be the president who's doing it. And it seems up to this point, Congress can't even do that.
Yeah. Vinny, if I was Donald Trump, and I'm very thankful I'm not, I'm sure he is too, but if I was, the sheer volume of people that have been broadly pretty supportive of me, particularly second time around, that are now turning on him. And it's not just conservatives. You've got the Tuckers and the Megyn Kellys and the Candace Owens, Alex Jones. You've also got Joe Rogan, Theo Von, hugely influential podcasters. 70 million people watched Trump's interview with Joe Rogan before the election. It probably helped get him over the line with young men. People like me, that like I say, I've always got on well with Trump. I try to always be fair-minded with him, criticize him when I don't agree, praise him when I do. But the last 6 weeks just felt like we're on this weird spiraling roller coaster, culminating, I'll be honest, when I read the thing about, wanting to wipe out an entire civilization, I was really appalled by that. I just thought this is just a brazen statement of intent about potentially committing an act of genocide against the Iranian people. And then you look at the logic of this, which was his fury was because the Straits of Hormuz weren't being opened. And now today, he is the one trying to actively close them, albeit for reasons that some people think are, quite smart, potentially strategically. But none of it makes sense, Vinny. But there's a growing number of people that were pro-Trump who are...
Well, bitch, you better go sign up for the recruits. Is your child out there in Iran? Because I don't want to hear nothing. If you a Trump supporter and you got
that's
kids...
when he would say he's not American.
Oh, he said he's not American.
Oh, he wouldn't be American at that point. He over here in America, talking shit.
All these people that support Trump right now,
yeah.
I hope your kids are out there in Iran with the rest of the military. It should be only y'all kids.
Right. And
where
Barry.
your kids at?
And
Barry. But where your kids at? T-Bird or whatever this person's name is.
But you see Abrams that was speaking before Piers was speaking, he's saying the same thing that I'm saying. Congress need to do their damn job.
Right.
They just sitting on the sidelines eating popcorn, watching the show like we are.
Yeah.
Just watch to see what's going to happen next.
They like this shit.
Now turning on him, and a lot of it is being driven by this whole Iran war and his behavior surrounding him.
I agree, Piers. I was one of those people, 2016, in California, supporting him from day one. I love what he did. He came and mixed up the whole system. I got punched in the head in California for wearing a red hat that wasn't even a Make America Great Again hat. So I was there with them from the beginning. But again, a lot of people, Piers, try to say, no, you guys are all MAGA. You never change your mind. I'll openly say that what's happening right now is unlike him. It's almost like he has like an evil force around him. I don't know if it's the Paula Whites, these evangelical Christians in his ear. But I love what John said, Piers, about, the sad thing is, I'm not surprised about his, I don't agree with it. These tweets about the Pope and Christianity, and by the way, and I'm pretty sure John knows this, Galatians 6:7 says, God will not be mocked. But I'm not surprised. He said he's not a Christian, Piers. When he got sworn in, he didn't put his hand on the Bible this time. He said on Air Force One he's not going to heaven. I just don't. It's supposed to be America first, Piers. It's supposed to be America number one, okay? And it just seems like there's outside influences, Piers, that are more about them and less about us. And it's a really, really messed up thing because, Piers, look around the corner. Midterms look like it's going to be a bloodbath. And then think about 2028 presidential, who the front runner, technically right now, is Marco Rubio. This war does not seem like it's going to end, Piers, anytime soon, period. There's no uprising. We dropped weapons off to the Kurds. The Kurds took the guns. The Kurds stole the weapons. There's no uprising. And I know I said at the beginning, Piers, this was told, it was for the people. The Iranians, after 47 years, took to the streets and they were like, we need help. Please help us. We are done. And the president, everybody was like, we're coming to help. We're coming to help. And then all of a sudden, enriched uranium became the story again, which I think is nonsense. We took it out. And the fact that we're supposed to believe intelligence, that now their missiles can come here, I don't believe it, Piers. I think we were hijacked, and we all know who hijacked it. And Israel has its thing. By the way, Piers, I'm watching videos of they're going after Hezbollah right now in Lebanon. They're taking down full apartment complexes for what? For one terrorist? For two terrorists? It's not good, Piers. And I just hope, I think we're at the point of no return, Piers. I don't see this thing ending anytime soon. I think it's going to hurt the Republican Party, not only in the midterms, but for the presidency as well.
So Fred Flights, when you hear that from somebody who, was a Trump voter, does that not give you pause for concern? And when you hear the same from so many people that were supportive of Trump, that voted for him in the last election, turning on him so rapidly in such large numbers now, does that not worry you?
I don't think they're turning on him in large numbers, but I want to add that I'm Catholic. I I like Pope Leo. I don't agree with him. He's a little too liberal for me, but I expect popes to advocate for peace and against war. And I would advise the president to keep that in mind. This is what popes do. It's a good thing. But I just look at what the NATO Secretary General
would you criticize Donald Trump for his attack on the Pope?
I just don't care about this. What I would focus on is that
as a Catholic,
the NATO Secretary General said
as a Catholic,
the world,
you don't care about the American president launching an unprecedented verbal onslaught against the first American Pope. You don't care?
It's a distraction. It's a distraction. I just don't care.
Wow.
These people put Trump above the Pope.
Yes. He going to hell too, child.
Yep.
As a Catholic.
What I care is that the NATO Secretary General says
sitting in London.
Our world is safer. Our world is safer because of the U.S. and Israeli action.
Fred, no disrespect, but just to repeat, you don't care?
I think it's a distraction. I said, look, I like the Pope. He's a little too liberal for me. I expect him to speak out on war and peace. That's what popes do.
But you can still care.
He did enter the political debate, and this is the kind of thing that
your
happens when you do
spiritual
that.
leader is described in the way that Donald Trump described him, and he's the first American Pope. Your only response is, I don't care.
American Pope.
Look, Trump trolls people. You know that better than anyone else.
But he's trolling your spiritual leader.
Right.
I care.
What I care about is that Trump is winning this war. The world is safer because an Islamist terrorist state is significantly weaker. And I think this war is going to wrap up in a couple of weeks. And I think there will be an uprising over the next few months when the bombing stops.
Do you want to bet on that?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll come back on your show if that happens.
Okay. How much do you want to bet?
$50.
$50. That probably represents... That probably represents your confidence in winning this bet. John Fook was saying, I mean, look, as a Catholic sitting here in London at the moment, I care. I absolutely bloody well care, because this was an unprecedented attack.
He made that clear
the
in
first
London,
American
so don't
Pope.
mess with
And
his
it's like,
kids.
at the very, this is my problem with what Donald Trump does in these things. It's like when people he doesn't like die. Whether it's Colin Powell or John McCain or Rob Ryan or whoever it may be. It's like, my mother always says to me, nothing good to say about someone when they die. Say nothing. Just at least respect life and death. Say nothing.
Most men have the game to not do that. But again, we have to remember, this man can't stop lying. There is no Jesus-based argument for Trump support. There is no gospel teaching or commandment of Jesus that he has fought for on a policy level. You have to throw Jesus out. And if you think this Pope is too liberal, you're going to really hate Jesus when you get to the gospel parts of the Bible. This is a man who began his political career off a racist lie that the first black president wasn't one of us. He lied to every American you care and love about during the plague. He had cops beaten for a lie on the Capitol steps and then pardoned all those terrorists after he got in a second time. And he launched that campaign off a lie, another racist lie about Haitian migrants being illegals eating pets. You cannot believe anything he says. And again, you can't believe Netanyahu or the Ayatollahs either. If anything, this shows us that it's not the moderate and liberal religious people causing all the problems. It is the fundamentalist wings of all the world's great religions, the fundamentalist extreme right, Muslims, Christians, and Jews, who are causing the violence, oppressing the women, hating the gays, and turning millions of young people off to the concept of religion.
Dan Abrams, just very
Piers,
quickly.
Let me just add something there about Israel, right? We've been talking sort of broadly about Israel as if it's a monolith, right? And I think John makes a good point, which is if you look at support for Netanyahu right now in Israel, it's at about 40%, right? Similar to what Trump has here in the United States. And when we talk about Trump's actions, right, here in the United States, we separate Trump from the United States. And I think we have to do the same thing with Israel. We have to identify Netanyahu as the one who is pursuing this. It doesn't mean Israel Israel that.
I totally agree. What I would say to that, I completely agree. I've become increasingly critical of the Israeli government because I believe there are some absolute right-wing headbangers on that government. Ben-Gvir, Smotrich. The spectacle of Ben-Gvir last week, cracking champagne open in the Knesset and wearing noose lapel badges because he just celebrated a law which will only execute Palestinians if they determine a terrorist, but not Israelis who do the same. I thought it was one of the most revolting things I've seen. So I think that you can criticize the Israeli government without, as some are always keen to do, being branded anti-Semitic. It's got nothing to do with the country, actually, or nothing to do with the people, and certainly nothing to do with Jewish people. But, and it's a big but, I think I'm right in saying that although the polling on Netanyahu is at that level, the polling on Israeli support within Israel for the war is very high, very high. So Netanyahu knows that, and he also knows the longer he can keep the sort of war part of his reign, as I use that word deliberately, going, the longer he avoids a criminal corruption trial.
Yep. Right. I think that's true. All of that is true. And I will just add one other piece here, which is this sense, and this goes back to the New York Times article, et cetera, this idea that, Trump got convinced into this and his team was, I mean, again, we talk about it as if Trump is like a child, right? It's like, he got convinced by Netanyahu and Netanyahu snookered him. It's like, what other president would we talk about this way? This is a decision that Donald Trump made, blaming it all on Netanyahu. Netanyahu this and Israel that. Yes. Is that a piece of it? Sure. But in the end, this is Donald Trump's decision. He's now owning it. He's the one telling us it wasn't Netanyahu who convinced him. He's the one telling us it was his decision. So I just think it's a deflection for people who say, Netanyahu or Israel or this convinced Trump of this or that. He made this decision and now he's got to live with it.
Well, talking of deflections, just very quickly, hang on, Benny, I will give you one word, but Dan, just very quickly, I'm about to interview somebody who was an advisor to Melania Trump. She suddenly popped up out of nowhere last week to make this, again, unprecedented statement about Jeffrey Epstein. Let's take a look.
I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in a detail in my book, Melania.
Dan, very quickly, before I talk to Mark Beckman, who is a current advisor to Melania Trump, what was your take on that? Why do you think she did that?
You have to believe she did that because there's some upcoming story. I mean, because if there isn't, it makes no sense, right? I mean, if she literally just got up and decided, you know what, I'm now getting tired of this, and resurrects the Epstein story, it doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can think of is her office was getting calls about some bigger story that's being done about her contact with Ghislaine Maxwell and with Jeffrey Epstein, and she decided to get ahead of the story because otherwise it's inexplicable.
Yeah. Final word to you, Vinny, very quickly, because I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, just really quick. I mean, we're not blaming Israel for everything, but if you can't admit that this all started because Israel was going, Marco Rubio said, we have to go. Miriam Adelson is a huge Israeli sponsor. She gave him $100 million. And name one leader from another country that has visited the White House 7 times in 1 year, and when he comes to Congress, he has 100.
I'm sorry.
He's not doing that. He's not blaming Jews.
I'm not blaming.
He is not.
It's so tiresome to hear this. Don't play that game. Please, please don't play the blame the Jews game.
It's like blaming all Christians for the KKK. He's not blaming Jews.
Unfortunately, when somebody, Fred, all due respect, Fred, but when you say blame the Jews, at no stage has anybody blamed the Jews, right? We have specifically just made it clear that we are criticizing the Israeli government.
What's happening? I want to defend Miriam Adelson.
Hold on. Hold on.
They are on his ass. That was the wrong comment to make. And he knows wrong. Look at that smug look on his face.
Yeah.
He's just trying to rile them up because, he's trying to deflect. And he really don't want them speaking the truth because he know what they're saying is true. And they did not blame all the Jews. They blame him. Bibi Netanyahu is who they blamed because that's who started this war. And in my opinion, Trump is in this war because Bibi is blackmailing him. And that's just my opinion. I don't have no evidence, but that's what I feel like why the war is going on. It's something, I guarantee you, it's all something to do with these Epstein files. And when he leave office, we'll find out exactly, what it's all about.
Yes, we will.
So you mean to tell me if somebody gives you $100 million, you're not going to lean to what they want? Are you crazy? And by the way, I'm a Semite, Piers. I'm Assyrian. So don't play this whole anti-Semitic. That argument is done, and people have woken up to it. Don't play that game with me, please.
Yeah, look.
Don't go down that route.
Look,
it's undeniable
you don't
the
have to say
influence.
blame, but again, the blame the whoever, right?
Come on.
Blame Miriam Adelson. Whatever Miriam Adelson is nonsense. This idea that, she's the real reason, right? And I think that's sort of the point that Fred is making, putting aside whether you blame the Jews, not to blame. The reality of blaming this Miriam Adelson or these pro-Israel supporters who have access to Trump. Again, the idea that it's their...
But Trump is motivated by corruption. And if you pay him, you can get him to do what you want. So you can say that he is an adult and he can make his own decisions. And that is very well true. But at the end of the day, he makes his decisions based on who can benefit him the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. If you're the president, if you are the most powerful commander in chief in the world and the most powerful world leader, ultimately and you go to war, the buck stops with you. It is certainly true from what Rubio initially said and from the New York Times piece that Trump was put under an enormous amount of pressure by Netanyahu and the Israeli government because they painted a picture of a sequence of events that simply hasn't materialized. But ultimately, you're quite right, Dan. If you're the president of the United States, it's on you. It's on you where you take American military. I've got to leave it there. A fascinating debate. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Be here.
Thank you, Piers.
All right.
Whew, that was a great debate, though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Well, guys, this was a great show. A lot of drama took place this week.
Mm-hmm. Too much drama.
Too much drama. And this is our administration, so shit. Well, y'all let us know what y'all think in the chat. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channels, subscribe to, of course, Off the Record. And I Said What I Said.
Yeah,
has
just
the
scan the
QR
code.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any final words for the fine people tonight?
Yeah. All this everybody screaming and hollering and blaming this person and blaming that person. But in my opinion, the buck stops with the president. He didn't have to enter this war with Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, yes, he did.
Wow. Technically, he didn't have to enter into this war because we're not getting anything out of it, nothing but, just pain on the American people and, higher prices. The morale is low. Some people are even
racism is high.
Racism always gonna be high. Hell, that's the American way. So,
yeah, but now it's even, it's just
it's
blatant.
Even higher.
It's just open and people are just comfortable.
Yeah, just look at the chat. Look at the chat.
Being their best racist selves.
Yeah, baby, they being their best racist selves. And so, MAGA love to throw insults, but they never have any solutions. And they don't debunk what we say. They just insult what we say. Because in their heart of hearts, in their heart of hearts, they know they're on the wrong bandwagon. And, I guess it's hard to try to start over. I guess it's like being an addict or an alcoholic or something. It's hard to start a new life after you believed in something for a whole decade. So, I can understand the deprogramming is going to be a slow process, but you will be deprogrammed.
He going to make sure of it.
Yes, because it's getting harder and harder to defend with the craziness, the unhingedness, the indecisiveness, the prices, the economy. It's just too much.
One thing after the next, after the next, after the next, and none of it is helping American.
Yeah, every second of the day is something with this dude.
Yep. And I feel like he is going to force MAGA to just say, you know what, I can't do this no more. I can't do this anymore. But
well, a lot of them have already said that they can't do this no more. Look at the past elections. You know, they want to say how dumb the Democrats are and how low IQ they are, but the Democrats been winning big time. And if Trump don't rig the election,
they're gonna win
in November. They're gonna win. They're gonna win even bigger.
It's gonna be a landslide.
It's gonna be a bloodbath. It's what it's gonna be.
So
y'all buckle up and get ready.
Well, on that note, I think that's a good place to leave it. Y'all catch us on another live. We might be sometime this week. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Again, hit the like button, and we will catch y'all on the next show.
Yeah, good night, everybody, and thank you for supporting the channel. Have a great night.
Yeah, you know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record, yeah, we keep it real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on, we talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, minion the God, let's go. Foxy 2 Roxy 3, she go hard.
I swear on everything, that is exactly what he said right here in the studio. That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard, Lizzie with the facts, she never miss. Nah. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. Nah. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop a cease, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. Record.